Mayan Boontag, everybody. Good morning. It's 6:02. It's December 23rd, and it's 77 degrees, right? What's everybody up to? Man, it's been forever since I did a live. I was just kind of thinking about that. When was the last live? I tried to do one in CDO, but I had some technical difficulties at the hotel. So that was the last live I did. And before that, it was before my big trip. So lots to talk about, lots going on, man. So the big trip, you know what? Let's see if we can pull up the map real quick and I can kind of show you guys that. 1 second. Share screen. Allow. Google Maps. Share. All right, good. Yeah, so the last live I did, I was down in CDO, but just a real quick recap of kind of what was going on since October. So in October, I was supposed to go down to the Mascara Festival in Bacolod, but they had like a week-long rain, and I couldn't get there at all. Let's make sure I'm unmuted, right? Yeah, good, I'm unmuted. So there's a Mascara Festival in Bacolod, week-long rain. I actually had to cancel. I couldn't get there. Everything was kind of shut down. The ferries from here in Toledo to San Carlos was shut down. I couldn't get there. So that kind of set off a delay in that departure, but I did eventually get out, and then I rode all through all of Negros, this whole northern Negros region, all the way down to Dumaguete, popped over from Dumaguete down to Dipolog, and then rolled the whole northern coast of Mindanao, and then popped over up to Leyte before I, got here at my apartment where I'm actually at now. I moved out of Cebu City, and I'm in Palampan Leyte. So, man, there's just been really so much that happened really since my last live. Yeah, the big trip, the move, you name it. There's been a lot going on there. So, a lot to talk about. Lots happening, but also just really kind of excited too for the new year. I've got some trips planned. Mary Rose just got her driver's license, so we're going to be doing some trips coming up together. Even she's on a break right now before she starts her second semester, so some of that coming up. Yeah, so I guess that's kind of the recap since I've done the last live. We've got what else we've got coming up early on in the year. I've got the Formula One race that I'm going to go to. Really stoked about that. And then that's over in Japan. I've got the tickets booked. I've got the hotel booked. So yeah, thrilled about doing that. Shout out to you, Kevin, for kind of setting all that up. I'm just been a passenger in this trip. He's kind of been driving the whole thing, but I'm really stoked about going to that. Really shout out to him as well for putting me up in his place for the past year. And just really excited. So I've been staying in this really incredible condo in Cebu City. I mean, just seriously, guys, my neighbors were actors and actresses. It was called Beverly Hills of Cebu. So I moved out of there. So really shout out to you, brother, for having me in that place. And really just enjoyed being there, even though I didn't really spend a ton of time there as I was traveling so much. But really, thanks for having me out there, and looking forward to our trip out there at Formula One, as well as other trips that we're going to be doing here in the Philippines. So shout out to you. But yeah, so we got that coming up, and then a trip back to Colorado, United States, doing a Florida, Ohio probably trip, as well as worked into that in May. So May and June. So that's kind of the first 6 months. A lot going on. Really excited about getting back out on the road, do some more travels. Getting back down into Mindanao. Mary Rose and I will probably do a trip down south. I'll show you on the map kind of where we're looking at. Let's add that back. There's some islands just down to the south of us right here. Let's see where we're at. Ormoc, yeah. Right down here. Limawasa, I believe it's called. Yeah, right down to the south. So we're looking to do that. Maybe that trip in the next week or so, right after Christmas. We're waiting on a bunch of stuff to arrive. All my boxes and stuff from Cebu City. So that trip could be come up. Let's do some layers here. Let's do, terrain. Yeah, there we go. So that trip could be coming up. So yeah, that's kind of, I guess, all the announcements, everything that's got going on. A recap of what's been going on in the past couple of months, as well as a little bit into the future. So yes, will that do? Let's see where we're at. Oh yeah, that's right. I'm streaming in Facebook and in YouTube. It's been a while, man. It's been a minute since I've done a live. Yes, my own buntag. Hope all is well there in Bentangas. Hope you've been good. Have you been out riding at all? How's the weather been out there? Uh, Yesterday, or what was it, Saturday, I finally got stuck in the rain. I had all day riding, and I couldn't do anything about it. A lot of times too, when there's been some weather, I've just kind of postponed whatever riding or whatever I had going on. I couldn't do that on Saturday. We were moving. I had to drive the scooter over from Cebu City over to Leyte. So I got stuck in all day raining, all day riding. But whatever. It's still beautiful. It's still warm, right? It's 70 degrees and or 80, almost 80 degrees and rainy. And actually, it was really cool because I'm up through the Trans Central Highway and real super foggy and yeah, it was really kind of a cool scene. But yeah, some wet, rainy riding for me on Saturday, which is really that's the first time in 2 years. That's the other thing, right? I've been here now 2 years. December 8th was my 2-year anniversary. So yeah, a lot happening. But yeah, so Saturday was the first time I got caught in like all day rain. And but like I said, it was fun. Still a good time. But I hope you've been out riding up there. Yes, yes. My own Magandang Umaga, right? What's up, brother? How about you? Have you been riding much? How's the NK 450 treating you? Good bike. Seen a lot more on the 450 MT, although I think they call it the Ibex 450 in the States. I think it's released out in the States now, so there's a lot of talk about that bike. In hindsight, I kind of wish I would have bought that bike. From one standpoint of how it would have brought all that attention to the channel, which would have been fun, as I was been transitioning a lot to a lot more riding kind of content, right? So that bike's got a lot of hype, and that would have brought some of that to here. But whatever, man, it's fun. It looks like a great bike. And I've looked a little more at the Himalayan. I've seen them around. They've got a lot of bikes now around. That was really the challenge of getting the bike when I bought it. It was the bike that was available, the Honda 500 NX, right? I couldn't get an NX5 or a Himalayan 450. They weren't around. CF Moto, they don't really have a dealership in Cebu. So I did go with the Honda NX 500, but now bikes are starting to show up. The Himalayans are everywhere. There still isn't a CF Moto shop there in Cebu, but yeah, I think it would have been interesting to see what kind of impact that bike would have had. But because there's a lot of hype on that 450 MT. What's up, Troy? How's it going, man? What's up from Australia? Hope all's good there. Good day. Yeah, I know, right? Early morning, and I've been getting up earlier and earlier. Well, a little bit later now, actually, since I've been out in Leyte. But for some reason, even in my retirement, I'm like up at 5 every day. But since being out here, I'm actually sleeping in. That's why this morning is like, oh, it's early. Do I want to get up? Yeah, no worries. What's up, Heath? Good morning, evening. Yes, yeah, early riser. Just saying. Even in my retirement, I'm up early. It's interesting because I feel what's there for me around that. I'm just excited for what I'm doing, right? I'm excited about the day. Back when I was in the States and working, and my day wasn't really about me. It was about, my 9 to 5. It's a little bit harder to get up in the morning, but when your day is about, crap, where am I going to go ride to? What am I going to explore? What am I going to see? What do me and my girlfriend want to go do? Right? It's just you get a little more excited for your day, and it's not so much a dread where you just don't want to get out of bed and have to face the reality, right? So for me, I still get up early in the morning, and I think it's a lot to do with just kind of enjoying what I'm up to, right? I finally managed to catch a live. No more normally have to watch a replay. Good morning. Yeah, Anthony, appreciate it. It's been a while since I've done one. I've been, like I said, I've been busy. I've been traveling. This is my first live from my apartment in Leyte. And I'll shoot some videos on this place. I've got a video in the works that I'm gonna make. It's how to poop in the province. It's how to use a tabo and all that, right? I'm serious. I actually got this question a couple times. It's like, how do these things work? How do you use them? So I've got one of those videos, but I'll do an apartment tour Because this place, guys, this place is 6,500 pesos a month. I mean, so cheap. It's what is that in US? Hold on, let me pull up my calculator. And for those of you guys who don't know, shout out to Chris, by the way, who showed me this. You can put in right in your calculator. You can see I got conversions there, pesos to dollars. So with the latest iOS, you can actually do this conversion right in the calculator. So yeah, 6,500 pesos. That's $110 a month. That's how much this apartment is. And I was doing the math on that times 12. Yeah, 1,300. That's a year. $1,326 a year. This apartment is cheaper for 1 year than my old apartment in the United States was for 1 month. You imagine that? Oh, it's so crazy. But yeah, I'll do a full apartment tour. We've been really trying to get this place in order. We had to paint the walls. There's a lot to do, and these province apartments aren't like your city apartments. They're not furnished. So, you know, most of them, you're supplying your own furniture. You're really kind of going through and cleaning. We got the bathroom kind of that we're still working on. But yeah, it's been a lot of work, but it's whatever. It's fun. I enjoy that kind of stuff, so I don't mind. But glad you were able to be here, join live. Good for you, brother. Appreciate it. Really do appreciate it. Jim, yes. Good morning, Jim. How's it going, man? All's good for you. What's up, Martin? You're counting the days now, right? Maybe even counting the minutes. Yeah, good for you, man. Hope you make it out here soon. Yep, good for you. Hey, Jimmy, what's up, man? When are you heading to Japan? Oh yeah, brother. Yeah, so I'm going to that Formula One race. When is that? Crap, I can't remember exactly when that is. Late April or May? Yeah, hold on. Let's see if we can figure that out. Let's see. When is the Formula One race in Japan? F1 tickets. Yeah, I'm not seeing it here. I don't see exactly when. I should have went straight to ChatGPT, which reminds me, I don't know if you guys are using freaking AI. I freaking love that, man. I am such an AI fan. I could just spend hours in there. Remember, we just kind of just surf and just waste time. I'm doing the same thing with AI now. Yeah, April 7th. See how quick that was? Man, it's just so freaking awesome. I freaking dig AI. Yeah, April 7th. So I'm going to Japan April 7th for that race. But yeah, dude. Yeah, we need to touch base. If you want to do a ride, so a couple things is going on. I talked a little bit about it here. Once my boxes get in, Mary Rose and probably another guy. Hey, babe. Good morning. Another guy, Jack, might be, and Jim, actually. There might be a group of us heading down from here down to that island I was talking about earlier. You're more than welcome to join if you want. And after that, once Mary Rose gets back in school, I'll probably head down to you down in CDO and look to do that ride. Let's pull up the map. Look to do that ride. And from CDO down through the mountains here, right? That just looks incredible. Can't wait. What do you call that? Malabai, whatever, down to Davao. So this route here. So, hey, if you're around, man, we should definitely, you're more than welcome to come up. We can do that ride down there. Or if you're tied up, because I know you said I think you got a trip to Thailand coming up. But anyways, brother, yeah, man, hope you're good. Good running into you. Yeah. Me and the Rebel. Oh yeah, nice, man. Oh, you guys met up. Oh, that's so cool. That's so cool. I'll see about getting up there to you guys here at some point, because I think I should be able to get this trip done. Now that I'm out here in Leyte, it's not really, I mean, we're kind of connected, right? I'm sure there's a quick ferry to pop over there, but I'm sure I can get to you guys pretty quick. Let's actually see if we can do directions. Yeah, see if it'll. Let's see here. Yeah, it looks like it's 21 hours. So definitely spread that out over a couple of days. I'd go this direction. But yeah, man. Let's get up there and let's do some riding. I'm down. You test rode the 450 MT. I really like it, man. It is getting a ton of hype. It really is a ton of hype. There's a lot of, and now it's hitting the United States, right? So a lot of guys are out there riding it. A lot of guys are doing reviews on it. Like I said, from a channel standpoint, I kind of wish I would have got that bike because it would have brought a lot of that traffic in. But whatever. I mean, it's fun. But there's a ton of hype around that bike right now. And it's nice. You know, it looked good. The main reason why I didn't pick it up was really dealership network and that type of support here. You know, there's none around. There's none here. There might be one. There's kind of one in Cebu where it was a dealership that sold a bunch of other motorcycles, and they also had CF Moto, but an actual CF Moto shop there isn't. Yeah, no, I'm good. I've got it ready to go for the next round, but I just have to turn it on. Yeah. There's a CF Moto deal. There is, but there isn't. I actually went out there to the CF Moto trying to find it. They sell a couple. They had like one bike in there. They had the 800 MT when I went and looked. So it's not really a dealership per se. Like, it's kind of like they sell everything, right? And they only had one bike that was there. What's up, James? Yeah, man. We do got the tree up. We got the little, God, I think it's tiny. She was so excited. She was like, get me the tree, get me the tree, get me the tree. What you need, babe? You can just turn that on. You don't have to move it. Because that way I can turn it on when I need to. Here, I'll just 1 second, guys. Sorry. Little Gamai needs some. Oh, there she is in the background. They can see you, by the way. She needs some Milo. It's her chocolate milk breakfast. Yes, we got the Christmas tree up. It's working. It's running, and it's good to go. We're gonna look to get some more lights. I guess white lights isn't really Christmassy, so we're gonna go look. Actually, today after live, we're gonna run up to Ormoc. Yeah, let's pull up the map again too, because I wanted to show you. So right from where I'm at, let's see here. Hold on. Let's get out of that. And then, where's my map at? There we go. All right, here we are. So I'm in this little town called Palampan Leyte. And right down through here, here's where I'm at. So it's really small, guys. We're talking what? I think I looked it up. It was like 65,000. But from here, the next biggest town is really Ormoc. And Ormoc's got almost, I think, like 500,000. And so a lot going on in Ormoc. It's kind of our nearest big town. And that's kind of where we go to find some stuff. So let's just take a look at directions to Ormoc. Yeah, we're talking like just over an hour. Yeah, kind of just over an hour to get to kind of a big town. That's not quite the way we go, but we'll ride up through this town and then back down. But yeah, you get the idea that kind of really out in the middle of nowhere. But I do love it out here. It's really so beautiful here. Just a small little town, just gorgeous, really cool sunsets because this is to the west. It does have a port. So there is direct ferry access out to Cebu as well as a couple of other locations, but really small. I like it out here. It's nice. It's quiet. I don't know if I would want to live out here like my whole life kind of deal. I mean, maybe, but it's growing on me. I really, guys, man, I tell you, Cebu City is a great place to start. There's no question, right? It's a really easy landing point to get yourself situated. Tons of accommodations, tons of rentals and all that kind of deal. But living there full time too, I've lived there for 2 years. And now granted, the past kind of year, I've been doing a lot of traveling, but it's just such a different experience there than really outside of a lot of other areas. I mean, mainly because all the other foreigners that are there that change the dynamic. And once you kind of get out of those bubbles, you really do kind of get a more authentic Philippines experience, which for me, I really enjoy. I love the friendly culture, the friendly people. It's not that they're not friendly in Cebu City, but it's at a kind of, it's really a different level. Out here, people are really just, they're open. They're, hey, how are you? What's going on? And for those guys who are looking for that like girlfriend or wife, you really, really want to get out of the cities. You really do. You want to get out to more of these more local areas, these more areas that aren't really exposed to a lot of other foreigners. So yeah. Good times out here. It's down to the minutes. Oh yeah, it's down to the minutes before you come out, man. Yeah, good for you, brother. Yeah, it'll be fun, man. It'll be fun. Yeah, I think the highway to below there has been CF Moto came to the Philippines. I looked for them originally. I know the place you're talking about in Mandaue. I did go out there. I went to one shop, and like I was saying, they basically had an 800 MT, and that was it for CF Moto bikes. Everything else was and then they had probably 3 or 4 different manufacturers, but mostly scooters. So yeah, it was a little bit the dealer network, and that's pretty much everywhere, right? They don't really have a lot of dealer network throughout the world yet. But they probably will, especially if they end up buying KTM, right? They'll have a lot. Yeah, meet you after the ferry crossing. Yeah, right. That's right. That's a good spot, man. We'll meet up there. I've been riding a lot of the scooter. So I was telling you guys earlier, I rode the scooter over from Cebu to Leyte, right? Honda ADV 160. Man, I freaking really dig that little scooter, man. Such a great little machine. I had a great time on it. I rode some really bad weather and didn't have any problems at all. So yeah, really excited about that scooter and driving that. And the plan with that is just kind of ride it around the city. But yeah, man, I've been really impressed with that bike. And the more I ride it, the more I like it. It's practical nature, but yeah, good times. What's the name of the drone that you use? I actually seen if it was around me, I'd grab it. I've got a couple of drones. I've got the DJI Mini Mavic 3. What you need, babe? Yeah, you can come through. Huh? So you want me to grab your drone? No, it's fine, babe. I appreciate it. I've got a couple of drones that, yeah, actually, babe, do you mind? Yeah, just the small one. I've got 2. I've got the DJI Avata 2, which is an FPV drone. Really, I kind of wish I didn't get that one, honestly. But the other one that I shoot a lot of my stuff with is the DJI Mini 3 Pro. And that's a couple years old now. They have a 4 Pro, and they're speculating to shoot the 5. That's all right, babe. Never mind. They're speculating to come out with a 5, and if they do come out with a 5, I'll probably pick that up. Or there's the 3S that's out. So either one of those 2 I'll probably get next, just because mine's a couple years old now. But the 3 Pro, it's a small drone, really compact, and it flies well in the weather. Oh, actually, oh, what I do? You know what? Because babe, I have it right here. That's why. Yeah, I'll show you to you. I have it right next to me. Yeah, it's really, really small, which is great for travel when you're traveling around. So this is the Fly More pack. It's got batteries and the full-size remote control. So that's the drone I shoot most of my stuff. I've got a couple of videos or a couple of footage from Don Salvador area where I'm flying the Avata. And like, that's a little different. You got the full goggles and a control. It's really fun to fly. But you don't really you got like a 15-minute battery life. With this, you've got a good half hour. And it's more, you can get more cinematic shots, really more kind of smooth flowing shots with this type of drone versus an FPV drone. The FPV stuff is still pretty cool, the footage from it, but it is different. I'll put that there. Yeah, I really actually like the drone, even just flying around like as a hobby. It's something fun to do. I really enjoy flying the drones a lot. It's a good time. Yeah, he's coming out, man. On his way. Yeah, he's really just south of Manila. Yep. Looking forward to another ride with you. Yeah, dude, let's go. Heading up to Thailand, hopefully to get the complete medical screening. Yeah, I would love to talk to you about that. I've done a little bit of the medical screening stuff for myself in Cebu. I worked with a service called MaxiCare. But I know a lot of guys go out to Thailand and do exactly that. They do the full, once a year, they go fly out and do the medical work up there, spend whatever, $1,000 or so and get that done. So yeah, I would love to hear when you get back, your experience and how that goes. Yep. Yeah, really cool. Less than an hour. Oh, from that area. Yeah, the small displacement Christmas tree. I love that. Yeah, that tree is so tiny. But we wanted to get a tree. We wanted to get something. She was asking all the time when we walk in. She's like, "You think we could get a Christmas tree, or you want to get?" I can't remember how she was saying it, but it was really cute. I was like, "Yeah, let's get one. Let's pick one up. It'd be fun." And then we spent the day decorating it, and yeah, it was a good time. It was a good time. We need some more Christmassy lights though. White lights are not Christmassy, I guess, enough. So we went out and looked yesterday at a couple of the department stores that are here, and like I said, we're going to go to Ormoc today and kind of look at a couple things around. So yeah, need someone to look at a motorcycle. Okay, if you're going to be in Cebu City, Morton, and if you're looking for like a mechanic shop, that Motology one there in Cebu City is really good too. Yeah. What's up, Jim? Yes. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Hope all's good with you. The videos you shoot are really good with that drone. Yeah. No, I agree, man. I'm learning more and more with the drone, and it is a skill. That's why I'm just getting it out, flying it. But I'm getting better and better with this little guy. I really do enjoy it too. And I'm excited about, so there's a couple more drones. You know what? We can look since we're kind of really not caught up in comments, but there's not a ton coming in. But let's go out to, I'll show you kind of the drones here. Because I actually really do. I enjoy it. So there's the Air 3S. Am I presenting this? Yeah. So here's the DJI Air 3S. This is one of the drones. Oh, they jumped ahead. But yeah, so here's the Air 3S. This is one of the ones I'm really considering, and you can see by the camera angle on that, it's just really, the footage you can get on there is really incredible. The problem though with that, one of the negatives I should say, it's a bigger drone. So you're looking at a bigger kind of footprint as far as what you're carrying around, that kind of deal, a bigger bag. But and also positive being a bigger drone, it's going to be better in wind. Versus the smaller drone. But it's just a camera. Yeah, they're talking about how big the camera is. They have 45 minutes of battery life, which honestly, battery life isn't so much of an issue with my DJI Mini. A good half hour, that's plenty of time to get up and fly around and shoot some stuff. But I mean, that's really nice. 45 minutes for battery, especially when you're looking at FPV drones that get less than, 15 or so. Yeah, it's got the wide angle. So I'm looking at this. The thing too about this particular drone is that in the United States, anything over 240 or 250 grams, you do need to get a license for. Here in the Philippines, it's not as big as a deal as it is there in the West. So it kind of does open you up to some of these bigger drones that are here. So the other drone. So here's the other one that I have, which is the Advata. Good time. It's so much fun to fly. It really is, and it's an immersive experience with these goggles that you fly. But here's this drone, really fast. It's actually too a lot louder, so it's a little bit harder. Or it's hard to be discreet with that drone. But let's take a look here. But it is fun to fly that. Yeah, Mini 4 Pro. So they're supposed to come out with a Mini. So here's the one I have. That's the one that I was showing you, is the Mini 3. So they do have the Mini 4, which I did not upgrade. But I'll look to get the Mini 5 Pro if it comes out and compare it to the 3S. So yeah, kind of the drones that I do. And like I said, I'm a fan. I love being an IT geek and a technology guy really my whole life. That's kind of stuff that I enjoy doing. So love the drones. Big fan. Yeah, considering buying the Mini 4 Pro. Still a great tips. Keep up. Yeah, man. So here's what I would do on that. If you're in a hurry, whatever, go ahead and pick it up. But if you're not in a hurry, I would wait until like the 5 comes out. I don't know when that is. might be able to find out more about it. But if the 5 comes out, what you could do is either get that drone if you want the latest, greatest, or you can get the Mini 4 Pro at a discount, right? So if you're in a hurry, whatever, yeah, pick it up. Great drone, looks incredible. Yeah, it looks really good. And then the 5, when it comes out, and the 5, what they're speculating will have is a little bit bigger sensor on it. And yeah, and then maybe even that LiDAR that the 3S has on there might have some of that on there for obstacle avoidance. So yeah, that's what I would do if you're looking to pick up a drone. If you're in a hurry, whatever, yeah, the 4 Pro looks great. But if you could wait a little bit, the 5 might be coming out, and you could, like I said, you can either get the 4 at a discount, or you can get the latest and greatest with a 5. You prefer the white lights on the tree? Yeah, dude, I'm easy, right? I'm a guy in that way. I don't really care. But my Filipino over here, she likes some colorful lights. Right, babe? Oh, so cute, man. So much fun. Oh my gosh, I have to say, it's so different. The dating out here. Just really, really, really unique. Last night, for example, I'm having she serves me dinner. It's just this really great meal, chicken and potato, and it's just, come on, man. And yeah, the outfit was really spectacular too. The meal was really spectacular. I mean, it's freaking paradise, man. She's over there telling me, "Is Buang crazy?" I do my own. Yeah, you do your own. Okay, yeah. I did a little bit of stuff, but here I just don't even have any tools. I don't. I was talking with Richard too, right? Or a couple of guys. It's like, or Jeff, a guy who just came in town who was looking to pick up a Triumph. Yeah, are you bringing a lift, or are you bringing your air compressor? I mean, right? I mean, and yeah, I think you did. I think you shipped most of your tools with you. But that's the thing for me, where dealer network was so critical, is I'm traveling around from place to place. I'm out on an apartment, tiny places. I don't have a garage and all that crap I can kind of do stuff with. So the dealership and access to the dealership was kind of a big factor for me, especially coming from CF Moto, where the reliability may be a little bit in question. So yeah, that was kind of why I really went with the bike that I went with. Is I can work on that bike, get that bike worked on really anywhere, versus other manufacturers. Although I have to say this, and I was blown away by this, why we were out, Jeff and I, we were out at the Triumph dealership, because he's a huge Triumph fan, right? He's got the Tiger 800 Rally, and he's got like 3 or 4 Triumph bikes out there in the States. But when we were out in the Cebu City Triumph dealership, the guy out there, Scout, shout out to you, brother. He said this. He says, "Chris, we can fly a mechanic out to you." I was like, wow, that's impressive. He says, however, we try to go to cities that are a lot of other foreigners. So he was saying like Bacolod is one, and that they'll fly. And granted, you're going to pay a little bit, but whatever, a couple thousand or so pesos, you can get a technician out to you. Dude, that was rock star, because that was one of my concerns with Triumph. And they've got some bikes out there that might be that I might be interested. The 600 platform, the 660, I think they've got a bike out there in that range that I wouldn't mind kind of checking out. So that was huge to hear that. Yeah. No, but you're in a house, dude. You got all your stuff out there. Like I said, you've got your gear, you've got all your tools, you got all that, man. I'm out of a suitcase. The Air is larger. Yeah, the Air 3S, dude, that drone looks amazing. That drone looks really, really good. And with the cameras and the sensors, the footage out of there looks really cool. But as you're traveling around on a motorcycle, room is kind of critical. So, the 5 Pro, if it comes out in that smaller form factor with a bigger camera, that might be the way to go. I'm waiting. I'm kind of waiting a little bit to see, because right now this is fine. This gives me 1080p. It's fine. But I will be looking when the 5 comes out, and compare that to the 3S to what I want to do. Yeah. Yes. Question regarding the NX500 dealership. Do you have a Honda big bike shop over there in Pollen Pond, Deer? I do not. I do not. I've got a Honda dealership here, but it's not a Honda big bike. And I've yet to go over there to kind of talk to them a little bit. But you're pointing to something that I think is right on. I don't think they're going to be able to service my bike there either. So did it really make any sense for me to get a Honda when I got to bring it back to Cebu? Maybe not, right? I don't know. There might be one in Ormoc. That is still an inquiry we're into as far as what's here. But what I'm speculating I could do, like parts and stuff, being that there's a Honda shop here, I should be able to get parts a lot easier if I needed, like, versus KTM or Triumph or any of that other stuff, given that the fact there's a dealer. So they might not work on the bike, but in a pinch, I'm thinking I can get by versus other manufacturers. But you're absolutely right. There's no big bike shop here in Pollen Pond. There is a Honda dealership, but it's scooters. I got a cheap drone, but it works great. MGX 18 Pro. It's registered. It's a mini. Yeah, nice, man. Mine too is also registered. I look to get Part 107 certified. Like I signed up for the course and all that. I've done a little bit of kind of research and kind of learning on that course. I did not get certified. Mainly when I moved out here and it just saw it's like you just fly. Now, granted, same kind of stuff. You don't want to fly near airports and that kind of deal, and over people and that. But I've been using really just the DJI remote and then that Air Map, I think it was called, to kind of give me, to let me know where I can fly and where I can't. The main one is I try to be aware of is where are the airports and not flying anywhere near the airports. So yeah, but yeah, I'm really a big fan of the drones. Like I said, I really, really enjoy it. So looking at your videos. Yeah. Building, doing his own work. Yeah, he just did some major work on his bike. He was talking about that. I think the 5 comes out in 2025. It's way cool, showing everything in larger dynamic life experiences. Yeah, I thought the 5 was supposed to come out here like really any time now. Let's turn this water on. I thought the 5 was supposed to come out really any time now. So I'm surprised that it's not out quite yet. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Like I said, when that comes out, I'll do a pretty big comparison on that versus the 3S, just to kind of see which one makes the most sense, which one I could carry, and if there's a big difference between the two. I kind of do like the idea of a little bit bigger drone. There's been some times where I've been like, I would like to fly, but it's been a little bit windy. I'm going to make a little more coffee. I've already got coffee in there. Just need water. Thanks, man. How you doing? Did you sleep good? You want to come say hi? She's still sleepy. This is early for her. Usually I'm dragging her out of bed at like 7 in the morning. She's a college girl, right? How many of us when we were in college were up at 6? I wasn't, that's for sure. I slept in. Hey, Larry. What's up, brother? How's it going, man? Hope all is good in California. Yeah, good for you, man. Hope all is well there. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it. You crack me up. I try, man. I try to laugh. I try to have a good time. I really do. It's, they always said that in work that I'm like the rainbows and unicorn guy. I don't know, man. You gotta have fun. You gotta laugh. You gotta joke. You gotta play around. I love that. I try to do more and more in that in my videos, especially the riding ones, because I get they're a little bit boring. But whatever, man. I'm passionate about that motorcycles. I'm passionate about riding. I'm passionate about traveling around this country and showing you guys. So yeah, I try to have fun with that, man. I do. Thanks, man. Thanks for being here. I appreciate it. Tools are already packed in the I remember you saying that. Yeah, that's the other part of that too. And gosh, somebody was the same gentleman, the Triumph guy. I think his name was Jim or Jeff. Apologize, brother, if you're here. But he was telling me that there's a really cool thing where he's from, where they have these shops that you can rent out, right? So they have like 5 of these bays and stuff with lifts and everything on them, and you can rent them out. They got tools, they got mechanics on site, right, to kind of go through stuff. You can fill it up, babe. So they got mechanics on shop, to kind of help you through. That's the other part, man. I just haven't really tinkered a ton. And so it'd be fun for me to, in that kind of deal. I would love to do that. Like roll my bike into a shop, have all the tools there that I would need to kind of work on my bike. So you rent it out. And then also a mechanic on shop to kind of go through shit. I would love that. I would love to do that. And I guess it's a popular business model in the States and a couple of the bigger cities. So that'd be really, really cool. Yes. How's my daughter? Has your daughter thought about you visiting? Absolutely, she has. We've talked a lot about that a little bit recently. And one of the things I was surprised about, James, she wants to come back and hang out here after. And so I'm really also thrilled, not only about going out there and seeing her and the rest of my family too. I am going to probably get out to Ohio and see my folks out there, and then also Florida to see my son. So, so yeah, they're all really excited. But like I said, her coming out here, is also something I'm really excited about. I can't wait to show her what life is like out here. And she, she's studying to be a nurse, so I could show her some of the nursing schools out here and things like that. So yeah, we're both really excited. She's really kind of busy right now, wrapping up her last year and looking at colleges. There's a couple of schools she got that she's working with right now. I think the latest one was actually down in Denver, DU. Really great school. She got a partial scholarship and some grants and stuff, so she might be able to go there for free. So yeah, she's doing great, man. She's doing really good. Really impressed with her and what she's up to. I went and bought a 32 millimeter wrench, changed my front sprocket. Yeah, that's freaking great, dude. Hey, Philip, what's up, man? Yes, Mayambunta, ¿cómo está? How does Leyte compare to Cebu? Only downside I see, it's a little bit more remote, and I'd probably miss the Cebu City airport. Yeah, so dude, it's night and day. It is very different out here than Cebu. I would say the people are friendlier for sure. They're a lot more curious and inviting. And hi, how are you? Good. Good morning, my Ubuntu. Good afternoon. They're just curious and nice. I love the province life out here a lot, and it's interesting because in the United States I was more of a city guy. Probably more for employment reasons, right? Like I could get jobs out easier in the city. But I did like the city vibe, the city energy, movies, restaurants, and that kind of deal. I still like that. But it's interesting how that's changed for me out here. For me out here, I'm becoming more of a province guy, more of a country guy. I'm liking the markets. I'm liking the natural foods, the more relaxed vibe, the way that the people are. It's not that I have anything against the foreigners and any of that, but I'm, as other vloggers said, to a lot of them, your problems aren't going to come in Protect Geo, I believe is the one who said this, is that your problems aren't going to come from Filipinos. Your problems are going to come from other foreigners. And honestly, I've experienced that firsthand where we've just had some really bad run-ins with some guys who, stalking her friends and just, being really just nasty people, right? And then creating drama all throughout my circle of guys that I was hanging out with. So I've kind of really pulled back from a lot of other foreigners, in particular in Cebu, and I'm really excited to be out here in the province life and just being around a lot more friendlier people. So I'm digging it, man. But yeah, the downsides, you don't have the Starbucks, you don't have that. But you know what? I don't miss that, man. I got freaking coffee right here. I've got my stuff here. We don't have all the restaurants, and that is a little bit of a pain, but we're eating at home more. I got my girlfriend serving me dinner in her underwear. I mean, I'd rather have that than a restaurant, right? She's over there laughing. But so yeah, so there are some things with it that Cebu is nice. It's a great place to start, no question, guys. It just makes it easy. You get here, you get in Cebu, you don't need transportation, right? You don't need to kind of solve that problem. You can chill out. You've got all these restaurants and stuff. You can get your kind of feet on the ground and get situated. Then you can do trips out from Cebu, right? Really great place to start. But you're going to quickly see that, first of all, the dating is absolutely atrocious there. It's just, dude, it's bad. It's bad. You got girls who are coming to Cebu to meet you. And that is not a good dynamic. That is not, they're hunting you, right? So the dating I would say is not very good. And unless what you want is the constant, like if you want to date 3 or 4 girls a week, yeah, Cebu City, Manila, all that, right? The bigger towns that you could do that in, right? If that's what you're after, then yeah, that's great. But if you want more of a friendly, authentic, just kind of a chill vibe, Cebu City is not. I would say get there, get adapted. Within 6 months, get out. And use that time to kind of find your places you want to be. Bacolod City, Iloilo, Ormoc, Bye Bye, CDO, right? Some of these other cities, Davao City, whatever, right? Batangas, where some of these guys are at, south of Manila. Use that time to kind of get situated, right? But I like it. But you're right. If you're going to fly and do a lot of traveling to other areas of Southeast Asia or whatever, Mactan, Cebu City, for sure. I have yet to leave this country after 2 years, so that has not been a factor for me. But you're right. Easy access to airport. But look, I'm going to pull up the map here real quick too, and just kind of show you guys. Here's one of the things you want to look at is from here, this whole coast of Leyte, there are ferries that run back to Cebu like every day. Ormoc has got 4 ferries a day that run to Cebu City. You're back in Cebu City in like 3 hours. Palampon has got a fast craft every day back to Cebu City. I could be back to Cebu City in 3 hours. Now, Palampon doesn't have the schedule like it's only 1 ferry a day, but all these cities, Bye Bye, same deal. It's got a ferry every day back to Cebu. This whole coast of Leyte, man, I'm telling you, is freaking gold. You don't have the foreigners. You've got really, Bye Bye looks amazing. I really, really, really like Bye Bye a lot. Ormoc is great, really big town, but easy access back to Cebu. So if you did need to catch those flights, you're in. And that's where I'm at. That's exactly what I'm doing. I'm picking these towns that still easy access to Cebu for the amenities, the flights, the one-offs, the medical, things like that. But removing myself from the highly foreign or populated areas where you got a little bit of drama and chaos still, right? Because the thing about that too is you do have a lot of new guys. You got a lot of guys who are fumbling around. You got a lot of guys who are figuring crap out, and we all are, right? That never changes from the time we're born to the time we end. So yeah. I like being out. We've got 2 Honda dealership repair shops here, but I have to go to St. Thomas for 70 kilometers for here. Yeah, to do your repairs. Yeah, no, I hear you. But that's a pain if the bike's unrideable, right? Then you're talking about getting it shipped or whatever, having a trailer. Yeah, I'm gonna have to find a place, and hopefully in Ormoc. Hey, thanks for the coffee, babe. I appreciate that. Yeah, I got to find a shop or just a mechanic or learn to do myself. I've got time and I'm physically able, although kind of bending around, moving around on the ground is a little bit not the best at that. I use, oh yeah. I'm trying to remember. I've been just using the DJI remote controller and just common sense, right? Like if I'm near an airport, that kind of deal. But the DJI controller has been pretty good about telling me where I can and can't fly. And what's been interesting too is I know, like, I'll see footage of people flying around. It's like, dude, you're within a mile of the airport. What the heck are you doing? Like in Cebu City, why are you flying there? I mean, come on, man. But yeah. There's another app that I use, but most of my flying now, I'm in like nowhere. I'm so remote that I know there's nothing around. So really, really digging the drone, man. Really enjoying it a lot. Like I said, it'll be interesting to see where I go with the 3S or the Mini 5. Yeah, it's early for everyone. I try to get up by 8. I know, right? Yeah, I set my alarm for 5, but I think I was up at like 4:30. She got up and went to the bathroom and it woke me up. So I just like, I'll just stay up. But yeah, it is a little bit early, but whatever, late in the United States. Do you think Palm Beach have a future as a tour spot? I do, and it already is, right? It already is in some ways, and it's that. Let's get out here and I'll show you on the map. What it has, it's got the, what do you call it? How do you pronounce that? Kalangaman Island. And I've been out there. We're going to go back out there for sure. It might be one of our first camping spots that we do with our new tent. But it's really beautiful. Really, so there are a lot of tourists that come to Palawan for that reason. They come to access the Kalangaman Island. The other really wild thing that's here, the freaking dang fruit bats, man. I shot a video on that a while ago too. Those things are massive, man. They got a wingspan. I don't even know. Probably the bigger ones are like 3 feet easily. Just huge, freaking massive. But yeah, no, I mean, it's not going to be like a Boracay or, whatever, right? But El Nido or any of that kind of stuff. But it does already have a little bit of a tourist presence because of that island. But there really isn't much else that's here. Really small town. But I'm digging it. Like I said, the more time I'm here in the Philippines, the more I kind of really like that small town vibe. I can see, I've joked about this on a couple of other lives, but getting a little farm, getting some chickens, having a vegetable garden. I can actually really see having some fun with that. And even going more off grid, have a solar setup, have water capture system. I've been doing a lot of the videos that I've been watching have been around that, like building homes, that kind of deal, setting up off grid kind of stuff. I really like that a lot. So, but yeah, a big tour spot, probably not. How's the weather in the Philippines? Does it rain a lot? Yeah, so really great, right? A couple things around that. I'm going to show you guys. I think there is a low pressure system in the works. Cancel. Yeah, I almost dropped the live here. Hold on. Let's see. Windy. Let's see if we can get that out. I like this. A couple of apps that I use windy.com, and I also use, let me see, am I showing that? Yeah, okay, good. I also use, what's that? Zoom Earth. I really like both of them. So yeah, you can see here, basically we're zoomed out quite far, but you really want to keep your eye to the east and looking for low pressures. This is wind. This isn't really anything here. And you can see, but it does give you an idea of the rotation and what's going on low pressure wise. So yeah, you can see there's one out here to the left. But yeah, so the weather is really, it depends on where you're at. And it was one of the things that I didn't really realize until recently, how the weather's working out here. So a lot of times what you'll do is you'll have these low pressure systems that come in from the east, and as soon as they hit the Philippines, then they ride up this coast. So the central region of the Philippines, right, kind of right down through here where I lived in Cebu City now for a while, and now I'm just kind of right over here. You don't get as much as folks like a couple of these guys that are here. They're up in Luzon, up in this area. They get a lot more rainfall, probably 2 to 3 times more than what we see here, just because of that nature where these storms come up and ride up. So the southern region, while it still gets, it's green. It's not like it's a desert by no means. It's still green. You get a lot of rainfall. They don't get nearly as much rainfall as the guys do up in the northern area of the Philippines. So, you look at this region is kind of the less rain that you would get. And there's months that are a little more wet than other months. So they're coming up on their summer months, which is what, March, April, May, right? Yeah. Summer, March, April, May? Yeah. So their summer is March, April, May. And those are the drier months. So the nice thing about some of these wetter months is they're a lot more cloudy, a lot more cloud cover. So they're not as hot. The summer months, March, April, May, not a lot of cloud cover, if at all, really dry. And I was actually surprised how Cebu City, the Cebu Island, how brown it got during that time. Last year in particular, I was like, wow, things are really dry. But it's a lot warmer without that cloud cover, without that. So you get some rain. Honestly, the weather for me has been a non-factor. It's been a non-issue. It's been really easy to kind of navigate. Sometimes you got rainy days. Like I said, the first one I've had in 2 years I've had all day raining Saturday when I rode out here. But other than that, I haven't really had, weather's been a non-factor in my riding, non-issue. So yeah, it doesn't. So there, you can hit rain if there's a low pressure system. If you keep an eye on it, you can usually kind of dodge that kind of stuff, or just postpone your travel, especially when you're living here. You just keep an eye on the weather, and it's a non-factor. Yeah, for me, anyways. Nice. My son got accepted to several schools. He's going into healthcare. Yeah, for me, it's one step closer to starting a retirement there. Good for you, brother. Yeah, excited for you guys to come out, man. Really, that's great. Yeah. Yes, my Buntag, how are you? Yeah, unable to hit the road for a while because of ashfall restrictions. Yes. Dude, that was pretty wild, man. I have to say, when I was there in Negros, I was getting pinged like every day for ashfall. And so what he's talking about here is this volcano. What's that? Canelon. So it's been really active. And one of the gentlemen I was talking to talked a lot about Bacolod. So Bacolod is what, I think 30 or 40 miles from this volcano, not very far. But thankfully, I'll pull up windy again. The wind direction typically is the other direction. So you could even see, like right now, where are we at that? So here's Negros. So here's that volcano right in here. And you can see here the wind direction typically goes south, southwest. So unfortunately, like Dumaguete is in line, right? But this whole region is here. But yeah, man, when I was riding through this area every day, I was getting text messages regarding ashfall. And even when I was down in Depolog, I was a little bit nervous. But just because of that wind direction heading south. But yeah, no, it's definitely a factor in that area. And really all throughout the Philippines, right? All throughout the Philippines, you got to worry about volcanoes, earthquakes, and tsunamis. If we look, though, at the map, I think actually, I was going to say Mindanao might be better, but they've got a lot of earthquakes going on there, too. So, but they are less susceptible, I believe, to typhoons, just because most of I can't remember the weather phenomenon, but most storms, they go away from the equator. So in this northern hemisphere, they're going to hit north and then ride north. So very rarely do you have a storm that would kind of ride up and then go south down to Mindanao, down to Davao. Now, northern Mindanao can get hit, but Davao probably doesn't get hit very much, Davao City, with those typhoons because of that, the fact that they start north and ride north up through the Philippines there. But yeah, man, yeah. Hope you're good up there. Hope all is well. I really loved Northern Negros. I thought it was absolutely beautiful up through there. That Don Salvador area, we'll pull up the map. I'll show you guys what the area I'm talking about here. This area up here in northern Negros is just amazing. Let's see where we're at. Yeah, right here. Man, just gorgeous. Yeah, I did this road. I did this whole loop, actually. This whole loop right through here in one day. I shot a video on that. Just breathtaking, man. Breathtaking. In particular, this Calvaltra all the way down through here. Yeah, around the Bella Falls. Just gorgeous, man. I would love to live there for a while. Of course, maybe once that volcano tones down a little bit, because it is right there. But yeah, just beautiful. Really loved. Beautiful area of the Philippines by far. Some people say it's probably some of the best roads, the best riding in all of the Philippines. I had heard that before, and I did like it. I thought it was gorgeous. More rolling kind of hills kind of deal, and open farmlands. Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, I was really into the riding out there. I still like the riding out here in Leyte a little bit more. It's a lot more like these huge palm forests and that kind of deal. Northern Negros was more open, more farm kind of stuff, and more rolling hills, which is beautiful. Negros is more, or Leyte is more like bigger mountains, and then tons of palms, man. Just beautiful in that way. They're both beautiful, but different. Yeah. I hope you're okay up there, man. Take care up there for sure. That's exactly what happened to me after seeing the Philippines several times. I love Dallas, but In the Philippines, life was changing for me. The Philippines were, if you have to love. Yeah. Yeah. And it's interesting because I've met a couple of guys recently who are like, they're out here on their scouting trips. They're out here for the first time checking it out. And the Triumph guy I was telling you about, I believe his name was Jeff. He was like, I'm not sure about the Philippines, right? It was different. And one of the comments he made was about the dating. And I think a lot of guys, well, there's, a lot of channels, right? That's their focus. That's what they're talking about. And I'm not judging. I'm just saying that's what's there. And it's exclusively a dating channel and dating in the Philippines and what it's like. So a lot of guys get this idea of what it is, but it's not as easy, or it's not, I mean, it's definitely better than the United States. I mean, come on, man, right? I mean, right? It's just amazing. But you don't like kind of walk off the airplane or airport and then you're greeted, especially in Cebu. If anything, what I would say about Cebu City is a great place to meet men. And I don't mean that in any other way other than to meet like guy friends and guys, right? It really is. Every time I'm in Cebu, I'm surrounded by a bunch of guys that I'm just chatting and hanging out, and it's fun, man. I really enjoy it. It's a good time. But that's what I would say about those areas too. Probably Manila is a similar. I didn't really spend a bunch of time in Manila, but it's a good place to meet male friends, guy friends, and that kind of deal. Other foreigners, that kind of deal. But yeah, yep. But as I'm living here more and more, I'm enjoying that more remote, more of that province kind of deal that's here in the Philippines, which is different from my life in the United States for sure. Yeah. Yep. I put the bike in the Chris. I need to get. I have not, guys. I've been slammed. I've been really busy between the traveling and then kind of wrapping up my apartment. I have not been super involved in the community page. I think Mary Rose has been more involved than I have. I've just kind of post some stuff here and there, but really appreciate guys who are in the community group. And if you're interested, we do have a small community group. I put links. I need in a lot of my videos, some more recent stuff. I don't think I've got links in there, but a lot of my videos have a direct link to the community group. If you're interested, check it out. One of the things that I like doing is participating in the chat. When I have time for that kind of deal, I'll see guys in the chat and I'll be in the chat too. I think there's maybe a couple hundred people that are actively in the chat. So I've been really digging that. But admittedly, the community group has not been something I've been able to kind of dive in as much as I've wanted. The idea too around the community group was a way for me to coordinate meetups and events, and I'm still going to use that mainly for rides that are coming up and rides that I'm doing. For example, like whatever ride we got coming up in the next couple weeks. So yeah, I'm still excited about the community group, but admittedly, I have not been able to dive in as much as I've wanted to in that. Some other things that are coming up I hear in YouTube is YouTube's going to allow more interactive stuff on the community tab within the YouTube where you guys can post and stuff like that too. One of the things about YouTube for me, and another aspect of the Facebook community group, was YouTube is pretty much one way, right? Like you guys don't have a way to kind of do anything on there. And on the Facebook community group, you guys can post, you guys can do all that stuff, right? And my understanding is YouTube is changing the community tab to incorporate some of that stuff. So yeah, but anyways, man, yeah, the community group is out there for those who are maybe interested in that kind of deal. Yeah, property in Dumaguete. I might look for somewhere more remote. You can still be pretty remote in Dumaguete. Dumaguete, I feel, does have a lot of great options still. A lot of people talk about all the foreigners and stuff like that are in Dumaguete. But when I was there, and I've been there a couple of times now, you can like, so Cebu City is similar, right? You can go to these spots where foreigners hang out, but you can also go where no other foreigners hang out and not see a single foreigner. So, but yeah, you can do some stuff in Dumaguete and get pretty remote pretty quickly. I know a lot of guys. Let's pull up that map again real quick. I know a lot of guys, I believe it's the Darwin area. Yeah, where are we at? Yeah, so just south. A lot of guys are south of Dumaguete, and I've seen of that. Or they go up the hill a little bit to Valencia. Is that what it's called, Valencia? Yeah, I'm not seeing it on the map. Yeah, Valencia Plaza. I've been up there. Whatever, it's okay. I mean, I'd spend some time there. I don't have any desire to live there. To me, there's some other places I would rather live. Ormoc, like I said, this coast of Leyte I really like a lot. Ormoc, Bye looked freaking amazing. I'd love to get down to CDO. Matter of fact, CDO is one of the places that Mary Rose and I are looking at once she graduates and wants to do a couple years of work. CDO would be a great place. I dig it. I actually really enjoyed Siargao City here. Beautiful. I really enjoyed that as well. I'm liking these towns that are anywhere between, whatever, a couple of 100,000 to 500,000. I really like those towns a lot. This little town was really beautiful too, Hanog. And this ride into here, just gorgeous. This ride from CDO to Hanog, man, that was just beautiful. But I really like that little town of Hanog. Not much going on there, but a little bit bigger than where I'm at now. So yeah, so many options. A lot of options for us to be. Yep. But yeah, you're looking to kind of sell that land there. Okay. Just consulted the map. No Honda big bike and whole of Leyte. Oh wow. Yeah. But I bet I could find a good mechanic. I'll have to look. So I wasn't even using the dealership in Cebu City. I found a really good, highly recommended mechanic shop for big bikes, Motology, I believe they're called. Really great shop. And sure enough, as soon as I pull in there, they've got freaking all kinds of GSs and lots of bikes that are there. And so I was really excited to find them. So I don't even really use a Honda dealership there. Even for the warranty work that I had, my front fork seals needed to be replaced. Whatever, less than 3,000 kilometers. I was like, screw it. You guys just handle it because I trust this shop. So I'm not even really using the Honda big bike shop there, but I'm speculating I might even be able to find a really good mechanic here in Palawan. And that's kind of the direction I think I'll go with that too, is just find a good shop here to kind of do whatever I need to. And then I should be able to use even this Honda scooter shop to get parts. I would bet I could get parts. But we'll see. Yeah. So I come to Leyte to have my bike serviced in your shop. Yeah. Right. I'll find a shop. I'm hoping to find one here in Palawan. I mean, it's such a motorcycle community, right? For you guys that aren't here, it is really different than the United States. Motorcycling is huge here. Two-wheel. I mean, really just out of a practical nature. Like people are on two wheels. Most people can't afford a car. A car is it's a luxury item. Really just the top of high earning Filipinos have cars here. Most people, they just have scooters or not even, they have bicycles, right? So yeah, it's really a different shift from the West in the United States, where it's the opposite. Most people, like, you have to have a car, and a motorcycle is considered, whatever, a luxury item because, you have to have a car. Here, it's different. Yeah. Yeah. Look at post. So you think Palawan Beach, lots of good investment? I don't know, right? See, here's the thing I kind of think about, and this goes to like condos and all of that, right? I mean, if you're going to buy a condo, if you're going to buy land in the Philippines, I would buy it not for the thought of you ever selling it. I would buy it just for something that you want, something you want to build on. Same kind of deal with condos, right? If you're going to buy a condo, I would not buy it for an investment. I would not buy it thinking you're going to rent it, any of that crap, right? I would buy it just simply because it's something you want and you want to own it forever. I mean, maybe, I mean, Bye to me is a little more built up. Is like investment stuff. Bye looks great, man. A freaking big fan of that area. They also have some fast crafts over, and it's just beautiful. But yeah, I mean, I don't know, right? Investment stuff. I mean, I think Bohol might be a better option, especially as they build out that bridge connecting Cebu to Bohol. If you're looking for investment stuff, Bohol might be a better option. But yeah, that's kind of my thought on that. I need to get out to Bohol. There's actually a Bohol ride that I'd like to do in late March. I need to get registered for that. Babe, will you help me get registered for that Bohol Negros loop, that Bohol loop? I think it's in late March. So yeah, there's some, I think so investment land, I would look at Bohol, Camotes, man. Come on, Camotes is freaking rock star. And it's also, so that's the thing I would kind of look at. Let's pull up the map again. what's your proximity to Cebu City? Because that's going to be a big factor, as well as Manila. And I don't know Manila enough to kind of speculate on that. But when you're looking at Cebu City, where most of the tourists are coming into, what's close proximity to that? So what you have is Bohol, and Bohol is very much set up as a tourist spot with Panglao and all that. But there's going to be more as this bridge comes. Supposedly, this bridge that's going to connect Cebu City to here. I think it's going to be running right through here. So yeah, these could be really good investment opportunities. The other thing I really like I was talking about, is Comodas. Comodas is going to start to get built up. I believe they got an airport that could open up. But who knows the time frame of that kind of stuff, right? Who knows, right? But that's what I like, is what's easy to get to from Cebu City, and then buy from there, right? Because that to me is what will be a big factor. So I don't know, my 2 cents. I'm not a big investment guy, or a property real estate guy. But yeah, that's what I would think. Your comment that the hunter becomes hunted for foreigners in Cebu was interesting. It's the bad part about that is that they're mostly scammers. Well, yes and no. I mean, look, there are some really great girls. My buddy Chris, he found just a really incredible girl too. There are some really good girls there that are in Cebu City. I don't want to paint a picture that every girl in Cebu City is up to no good, right? Not at all. However, when you get out of the city and you start looking at the dating, dude, it's most of the girls that you're meeting are great. They're family. They're simple girls. They want to farm. They want to, they're not into dating foreigner after foreigner after foreigner. They're not a community bicycle, and I think that's a lot of what you have in Cebu City is you've got community bicycles. You've got girls that have dated dozens of foreigners in a year. Is that necessarily something you really want to date? I don't know, right? But to each their own. To me, I wanted more of a simpler, more traditional type of girl, and you can easily find that out in the provinces. I mean, that's what the majority of them are. Now, with that is a completely different dating strategy, man. You're not going to freaking show up and then be with them instantly. It takes time. I share a funny story about Mary Rose in our first week of dating. I mean, she was telling me this after the fact where, we hung out. She wasn't even going to show up on the first date because she was that nervous, but she showed up. Her sister was with her. Several of her friends were with her. We went and had barbecue, and that was our first date. And our second date, we went out and did stuff. But by the third or fourth date, I invited her, hey, you know what? Let's watch some movies and stuff like that. So she came by and we would watch movies, but she told me, she's, Chris, I never took my shoes off. If I needed to, I could run. So that was kind of it's a different dating dynamic, right? It's very slow. We were 2 weeks before, really anything, before we even really holding hands, so it's just a really different, slower. And for me, whatever, man, it's been 5 years since I've dated before that. So I was more interested in finding a good girl than I was interested in kind of scoring or whatever, right? You get what I'm saying? So it is really different in Cebu City. So I would say this, if you're looking to date a lot and that kind of deal, Cebu City is where it's at. If you're looking for like a wife or a girlfriend, definitely get out in the provinces and you can find it easier. You can also find that in Cebu City, but you might have to dig a little bit harder to kind of find the girls that aren't community bicycles, So yeah. Ocean Jet is really good with posting their ferry schedules and routes on their sites. Is that the only ferry company you'd recommend? No, there's several. So Ocean Jet, so what they do is they do a lot of fast crafts, so passenger only from city to city. I've used Ocean Jet a lot. There's a couple of other ones. What's the Supercat? Supercat's one. What's the other one?
The Supercat, Asnor.
No, the fast crafts.
Seacat.
Seacat. There are a couple, but Ocean Jet is one of the bigger ones out of Cebu City. Now, if you're looking to do cargo, there are a ton of those. So like with a motorcycle, there are several. And, it's really, the ferries are a little bit of a challenge because there's no one place to look at, like the schedules, all that stuff. Because you gotta know the companies, you gotta know the ports. I've struggled a little bit with the ferries. The ferries are a little bit of a challenge. Um, just because they're everywhere. I mean, Cebu's, the whole island of Cebu has probably got 6 different ports, easily 6 different ports along that whole island, and you got different companies that run out of each port. So they're a little bit of a challenge, but yeah, there are probably a good dozen or so different ferry companies. I actually created a freaking document on the ferry companies, the ports, and the times, just so as I'm traveling around, I can kind of reflect to it when I need to. But yeah, lots of ports, lots of ferry options, depending on if you're doing just passenger stuff or if you're bringing like a bike and a motorcycle. I would say if you're just doing passenger stuff, depending on the destination, the ferry prices are anywhere from like 800 to 1,000 pesos, which is what, like $20 or so? Isn't 1,000 pesos $20? Let's pull up the calculator. 1,000. Yeah, so it's like $17 for their ferries. So they're pretty inexpensive. And then if you start getting cargo, they can be around 2,000 pesos. And again, that depends on where you're going, right? Your destination and how far the ferry is. So yeah, 2,000 pesos is $34. So yeah, lots of ferry options, a little bit different and challenging to navigate. I would also add with the ferries, definitely get on their Facebook website. Let's check some batteries here. Yeah, get on the Facebook page because they'll have cancellations and stuff like that. Oops, I skipped over you there, Richard. After bike work, that's messages for. Yeah, that's what massage are for. Yes, that's actually one of the things that I'll miss about Cebu is all the massage options that were there. And also too, guys, I want to add to that because it's right there for me when I say it. Like 90% of the massages are all like legit. They're not, whatever types of massage place. I think Thailand is the opposite. Most of the Thailand places are, happy ending massages. The ones in Cebu or in the Philippines in general, they're all been legit for me. So, and I think that speaks to the conservative nature of the Filipinos, right? It's a very religious, very Catholic society here, very conservative. So, but yeah, that's one of the things I miss about here is there really isn't a lot of massage options. Where in Cebu City, I mean, Mary Rose and I were that's one of the things we do when we get there is we go get massages, and they're cheap. I think, was that 550 pesos? Yeah. So for an hour and a half massage, 550 pesos, less than $10. So cheap. I usually give a couple hundred peso tip. So you're talking with tip, $12. So cool. So that is one thing I miss. There will be, I think we can go to Ormoc. There is one place here, I think, in town that might do it. Well, that's one of the things. I need to find a mechanic and a masseuse. Because I can get massages three times a week. You kidding me? You're talking $10 a massage, $30 a week. That's definitely something I'm down with. Let's see here. I'll bring a full-size suitcase on the ferry. Will they charge crazy fees like airlines? They charge a little bit, right?
Yeah.
100 pesos?
It's like 100 to 200. It depends on the.
So they might, yes, you might get charged a fee for the pesos, but here's the fee you're talking about: less than $2. $2 to $3, whatever for the ferry. Yeah, 100 to 200 pesos for the ferry. Yeah, good stuff, Saturn. Check again. Put it under the conversation we had. Okay, you guys are. Yeah. I will donate the kind of your corn if you start. Yeah, I will donate a combine for your corn if you start a farm. I won't be doing anything big like that. A chicken coop. One of the things that I've been watching and researching is how to build a chicken coop. The carefree Christian chicken farmer, right? Come on, man. Wouldn't that be great? But yeah, so that's one of the things. I lived on a farm as a kid when I was in like elementary school out in South Dakota. But yeah, Wentworth, South Dakota, man, small town. But yeah, man, that was one of the things I looked at doing is just doing a little chicken farm, have some fruit trees, whatever, mango, jackfruit. What are these little freaking grape things? What are those called, babe? Little ones we picked.
Lanzones,
Yeah, Lanzones. What are the red things?
rambutan.
Lanzones, rambutan. What else do we want to grow? Jackfruit,
Yeah.
some calamansi.
Calamansi. Calamansi.
We got a bunch of stuff we want to grow, right?
Yes.
Oh, that's great though. It's funny. My big problem with the Philippines is it's so few walkable places or sidewalks. No, it's true. You really want to be careful, especially in the cities when you're walking around. I mean, I've gotten used to it. I've used to walking around the Cebu City. Cebu City is actually a really walkable city in the sense that it's really compact and small. Like I've walked a lot in that town, but you know, as far as flat level sidewalks with that kind of, you know what I mean? You're right, but you can walk a lot. We walk here in the provinces. I mean, we walk a ton. We'll walk down the 7-Eleven and just walk all throughout town, just through the streets and stuff. So it just depends on where you're at, brother, if that's the case or not. Some of the bigger cities, you're right. The inconsistent in the sidewalks, the holes, you really got to watch your feet and where you're stepping. It's like, you know, hiking in urban hiking, right? But there is a lot of walking available. And if you get out of the cities, it's just, dude, it's gorgeous, right? Gorgeous. And near my place, too much rain, getting tired of it. You guys are getting dumped on in Manila, man. It always surprised me. That's one of the things that I didn't really get the map back up. One of the things that really surprised me about the weather here is how much more rain Luzon gets than what I get. Brother, you came down, we hung out for a weekend, and you one of your comments right away too was the difference in weather. And it really is, guys. There's a huge difference. So, and I've talked about this before. If you look at this distance here, and it doesn't look like it, but this is the same distance from Detroit all the way at this northern point, all the way down to Daytona. So you put that in perspective. It's a long ways, and the weather, just like from Detroit to Daytona, the weather is very different, right? Similar here, where you've got a lot of different weather in this northern part, this Luzon region of the Philippines. A lot wetter, a lot more rainfall because of the natural path that these storms take. It's still wet here, right? But it is different up in that area. We have a lot drier conditions than they have up there. Like I was saying yesterday or Saturday, when I rode over here, that was the first day in my 2 years of living here that I've been out riding in all day wet. First time. And really, I've been caught in rain before, but typically what that's been is I get caught in short showers, stuff where I can just chill on the side of the road for whatever, 20, 30 minutes, if that, if I needed to. That's been my typical experience, which is different when you're up north. Yeah. Come on down here, brother. Let's go ride. Yeah, Odette direct hit Cebu. Yes, I remember you telling me that story. Man, dude, crazy. I cannot imagine. And I'm glad your kids were willing to come back after that experience. But you're absolutely right. So storms can hit; they can come right through. But it's not as common as, you know, just like Tampa, right? Tampa is typically isolated from that stuff, but they had a storm rip through there, a couple of them recently that came through the Gulf. So you're right. Storms can come through anywhere in the Philippines, but the nice thing about Cebu in that area is you've got some of these shelter islands that kind of can kind of block that storm and weaken them, at least by the time they get there. But that was not the case with Odette. But, you know, one of the things, James, too, that we have with these typhoons, and they're just super slow moving storms. So my plan, if there's a big storm, is to go south, right? Like we're talking about, storms are going to hit and go north. Just go south, go down to Davao, hang out there for a month or whatever if I needed to, but definitely go for a long weekend or a week and chill out down there if a big storm comes in. Now with being out here in Leyte, it's a little bit harder for me to do that. So I do need to be more and more in tune with what's going on. But I am also too, I am on that, I'm not on the leading edge, right? So I'm on the western coast. So, you know, the leading edge is what's really bad, but still, it would be bad here in Palapan. But yeah, yep, you're right. They can rip through anywhere through here. So it can happen for sure. Now you're being smart. I've already been looking for a home base that will not get hit as much by bad weather. Yep. Now that's good homework. Yeah, man. No, I'm learning as I go. I really am. I'm learning as I go out here and, sharing it with you guys. So really love being out here still, even after 2 years. It feels like so much longer that I've been here just because I feel like I've been up to so much and experienced so much. But I love it out here. I really do. Now I do want to explore other parts of this region. I love to go out to Cambodia. I love to go out to Thailand. I love to go out to Malaysia. There are a lot of other places I want to see in this region. And going out to Japan and doing that race is going to kind of start a little bit of that. But there's just so much more for me to see here too. That I just and like one of my passions is motorcycling. So riding through this country, a little bit harder to do in some of those other areas just because my bike is here and that kind of deal. But yeah, man, I'm digging it here. I really am, and I'd love to. One of the things that's been there for me is building a home. I would love to build a home out here and have a base. Whatever, nothing too big. Nice little home, little farm, and stuff like that. I'd really love to do that, and I could see this coast of Leyte where I would want to get that set up. Under Armour shirts, I wear. Yeah. I admittedly don't wear these types of shirts too much. In Cebu, I'll wear them a little bit, but out here, you kind of stand out a little bit wearing a collared shirt like this. It's kind of like being out in a farm and in the Midwest and showing up in your golf gear. but yeah, honestly, we went for a run last night and got back and showered and all that, and I just threw this shirt on. So this is what I had on last night and just kind of put it on again for the live. But yeah, I don't wear these shirts too much. So, like if I'm out and about in Cebu or whatever, I'll wear. But here it's really, really, really casual, man. Super casual. I love it. I do love it out here, man. Yeah, the Ring of Fire is no joke. Yep, the West Coast USA said volcanoes pop off every now and then. Dude, they're popping off these volcanoes, man. I know it. It's pretty serious. What do they say? The Philippines is prone to more natural disasters than any other part of the world. Volcanoes, earthquakes, typhoons, tsunamis. Yeah, it's all right here. So I think it's important to look at those regions and what areas are more susceptible. To me, the southern Leyte, this western coast of Leyte, I'm digging it, man. I'm digging it. Yeah, but I'm with you, man. It's no joke. No joke. Sardi country rated 3 times more rain on Luzon. Official Fisher in Manila gets an average of 206 watt Cebu. Yep. I think what was Rod put out some stats? Yeah. While Cebu gets 180. Wow. Yeah, that's wild. Let's look at this. How much rainfall? Let's just look at Cebu City. Dude, it's I'm telling you, it's got to be so much more. Let me get it. Does 1 second here. I'm just typing in here. See what we can find. Approximately 200 millimeters per year. Cebu City around 2. So this is telling me Cebu Cities get more. Comparable 15. However, this throughout the year differs between this relatively wet season. The Cebu experiences rainfall and more. All right, here we go. This makes sense then. So what this is saying, and this makes more sense. While the rainfall Manila and Cebu both experienced significant annual rainfall, with Manila receiving approximately 2,000 millimeters per year and Cebu City around 2015. So they're saying Cebu City gets more. This indicates the two cities have comparable annual precipitation levels, while Cebu City receiving only about 15 millimeters more than Manila annually. However, the distribution of rainfall throughout the year differs between the two cities. Manila typically has more pronounced wet season, while Cebu experienced rainfall that is more evenly distributed across the year. And I would say, yeah, that seems to be my experience of Cebu. Is it just doesn't seem to be rainy. Like there isn't a rainy season. You get rainfall periodically. You get like these 30-minute showers that come and go, while you guys just get dumped on. And that would be consistent with what that's saying. With during the rainy season, you guys are getting hammered, and your dry season is super dry. Yeah, that's it. Well, Cebu gets more of that rain throughout the year. Yeah, it is really interesting. I'm telling you guys though, there's only one day have I had all day raining while I'm out riding around. It's not there, and you guys are getting stuck in rain all the time. Yeah, so and that makes sense. Your wet season, because of the path of those hurricanes, right? They come up, they ride, they hit the coast and they ride up, and you guys just get dumped on during that time of year. So it's interesting that there's actually more rainfall in Cebu than there is in Manila, according to that stat that I just read. But like I said, more evenly distributed throughout the year. Interesting. Yeah, Weather Spark. Yeah, mine was just, I did Chat GBT on mine. And I think there are links in that it pulled up. Yes, what was the source on that? Yeah, Weather Atlas, Weather and Climate. A couple of sources on that. Yeah, it's like a dozen or so different sources on that from ChatGPT. Yeah, interesting. Yeah. Oh wait, skip this guy. That volcano just south of Tagaday went off a little while ago. Yeah, that was one of the two reasons why I wasn't interested in the Manila area, is the volcano that's there, pretty active. Yeah, I kind of stay. They're everywhere, but I kind of stay away from the regions where there's active volcanoes. Bacolod would be another city that would kind of concern me. Although, like we were talking about earlier, with the wind direction heading typically the opposite. Although, I mean, you're so close that it's still got to be a factor. Geo's promoting Bacolod City as a good alternative to Cebu, but with a volcano, yep, so close, I'd be worried about ashfall and air quality. Absolutely. If the wind blows the other way, I have not been to Bacolod. Like I said, I was supposed to be there for the Mascara Festival and wasn't be able to go. So I'm really excited about checking that out. I mean, it does look like a good option. And he likes a lot of the things too, where there's not as many foreigners, but kind of a modern city still, where you can get your coffees and your shops and stuff like that. So, it sounds good, but you're right. That proximity to that very active volcano is a little bit concerning. I'm with you on that. It'll be interesting to see where he ends up, right? Yes. Good morning. Yes, my own Buntog. I know it's early, right? Hope all is good there. Empire, more of a fart of an eruption. That nothing happened, luckily. Yeah. When was that last eruption there? Oof, that was pretty major. I remember that before I moved out for sure. Same thing that happened to Mount Shasta in northern CX. Yeah, burps a lot. Yeah, lots of them are. Lots of active volcanoes going on here. Big mistake if you're anywhere near her family. The money regrets will be endless. Yeah. Okay. How much more is YouTube going to let AI rip people off, the content off? Yeah. There's some AI stuff that I've been exploring. I've been liking it for me. Well, just even like everyday stuff like that right there, right? Like the rainfall, that was really convenient too. The F1 stuff, I'm really a big fan. Just the output, I really love the output. It's just so much easier than anything, here. Yeah, let's see if we can show this. let's see here. Stop screen, present, share screen, window. Yeah, share. Yeah, I'm just a big fan of this, the output, right? So right here, I type in how much more rainfall does Manila get than Cebu? And then boom, right there. It's just so easy. I don't have to click on a Google link. Yeah, and I use it all for like my writing checks, Leyte plan, zip code. Like, yeah, what's the zip code for Palawan Leyte? And then boom, it just I just the output for me is so convenient. Yeah, Manila, Philippines. It's I was kind of like here 6 a.m. in Manila is what time in New York City. Just boom. It's the output is just so great. Yeah, poop in the province, right? New video. I'm working on a video how to poop in the province. Yeah, this video will come. How to poop in the province, a beginner's guide. So I really like AI a lot. My place here has a province bathroom, and no kidding, like guys are asking me, how the heck does this work? How does a Taibo, how do you pronounce that? Tobo, the bucket? Tabo. How does a Tabo work? How does all that stuff work? I need to shoot a video on this. Where are we at with the comments? Oops. Did I miss one? Where am I at? Oh man, I lost my track here. Oh wow, a little bit behind, huh? Yeah. There are places of northern Cebu too. Yeah, with volcanoes. Sure. 1100 I rode near Tal a week or so ago after it popped off. Yeah. They're around, man. They're around. Dumaguete is loaded with losers that pay for pretend relationships. It's odd that these YouTubers don't tell the viewers the truth. Yeah. Pretend YouTube. I'm just trying to think here. Dumaguete is loaded with losers who pay for pretend relationships. Yeah, it's crazy, man. The relationship dynamic is really interesting here. While it's better than the West or anything like that for dating, there is an aspect of pay to play or whatever of that. That's why I really kind of like this province dating and how different it is out here. In Cebu, you get a lot of that, man. And guys, I think guys are unwilling to admit that they're really engaging in prostitution. But that also too has a little bit different tone out here. There's a little more like a practical nature almost to it, where you got these college girls affording school, and they go that direction to help pay for all that stuff. Maybe it happens in the West. I don't really know. But it's something I've noticed out here a lot, where you have guys who engage in this type of dating, and they ended up giving these girls a couple thousand pesos or so to go out on dates. It's like escort services, that kind of deal that are pretty. I mean, heck, look at a lot of these other female vloggers, right? A lot of them are escort services behind the scenes, So so it's really interesting that dynamic here with the dating. Yeah, sun's coming out. Yeah, it's been out for a while here. Yeah. There are no good investments in the Philippines. Yeah, I would look at buying in the Philippines when it comes to condos and real estate as something that you're just going to keep. That would be me. I'm not a real estate guy, so I wasn't in the West. I mean, I owned a home, and I did well on my home. I freaking doubled my money. I would hardly consider myself a real estate expert. But what I would say around that is buy something that you plan on keeping forever. Buy something that you plan on not renting out. I mean, I just don't think you're going to be able to get rid of it. If you try to sell it, it's going to be hard to do, especially in Cebu. I mean, they're just building and building and building and building. I mean, there's so many places going up. But if you want to own a place, like I would love to have a home. I would love to do that. But I would like to, buy land, build a home, that kind of deal. But even a condo, I mean, the thing about buying a condo is you want to make sure that you're buying into development that's taking care of their property. If you look at some of these, like these original Avita towers that are across the street from the Supermercado there in IT Park, those places are run down. I don't know how old they are. I think they're got to be less than 20 years old, but they're not maintaining them. You know, you got siding that's falling off. Even Selena, when I was staying there, they had an elevator that was down for like 6 months, you know? So I don't know, man. The condo buying is a big red flag. I think the place that I just moved from, Rockwell, though, I mean, that place was rock star. They really kept up with their stuff. Of course, you're talking about, you know, I don't think you can get a place in there for under $500,000 US. So you're going to spend some money on some of these places. So if you're looking at condos, you really got to do your homework on the owner of the condo and what other properties do they own and how are they being maintained. That's what I would do. But if you're going to buy something, I would say it's I wouldn't look at it as an investment. Like if you're on two wheels, five Filipinos on two wheels. You'll see it, Rory. I've seen it all the time. Well, I did the video where we had 3 of us on the bike, right? Yeah. They rode 4 on a scooter one time. Yeah, it's very common. Most of the hot girls in Leyte work in the bars, not all. Yeah, there's no bars here really in Palawan where I'm at. It's pretty quiet in that area. So most of that kind of stuff are the bigger cities. So you don't really have a lot of that out where I'm at. Be nice if the guys would mix the truth at times. Yeah, I hear you. I mean, I try to keep my stuff positive and upbeat, but that's kind of also too who I am, right? So I don't necessarily put intentionally like a super happy spin, like a fake spin. I mean, I laugh and joke just because I like to laugh and joke, right? Those freaking telephone poles in the middle of the road. I mean, come on, man. When I was riding up through there, I mean, that's just crazy. But I get what you're saying. I mean, I think you could find though what really living in the Philippines is like if you watch some other channels and watch a bunch of stuff. I mean, you see what it's like. I do think YouTube does give you a good experience on what life is like in the Philippines, especially some channels. But admittedly, for me, I do keep a positive spin on stuff. But that, like I said too, that's kind of my wiring, though. That's who I am, and that's doesn't matter about YouTube, right? As far as that's just part of me. But yeah, I get what you're saying. But you can find the true Philippines experience. I think from YouTube, you can get it. I'm out of luck then. I do not go to bars. I don't drink. I'm with you. I quit drinking back in 2015. So, and I think being out here in the Philippines, I think that's you got to be careful in the bars. You got to be careful in the bars anywhere in the world, right? But in here too, the guys that are getting in trouble, guys that are meeting bad girls, they're meeting them in bars and that kind of deal. And it's not a good idea anywhere in the world. So, yeah, I'm with you. Stay away. It's good. You don't have to participate in that. I think, Cebu City isn't. What's interesting too, and I've commented on this on several of my videos. Philippines is not a big drinking culture. It's not. And some of that is just practical and affordability. They don't have the money to go out and sit in a bar and belly up at a bar and drink for 10 hours. Most Filipinos don't have that. Now, it is drinking, but it's all at home. You got these guys sitting on the porch drinking whatever, Tumba or whatever the hell that's called, and Red Horse. There is a little bit of a drinking culture, but it's very different where because of cost and practical nature, it's at home, which actually I like it. I like that side of it. So as a non-drinker for me in the Philippines, non-issue, dude, non-issue at all. Other than, kind of like in the United States where, someone offers you a drink and you say, yeah, you don't drink alcohol. Sometimes there's that dynamic, but yeah, really, not as a non-drinker, you'll be fine out here, man. Looks like Jakarta moves up on the list. Yeah, I'm with you. I've heard a lot about Jakarta. Especially as a single guy, I hear Jakarta is a great place to go. Yeah, Anyone confirm legitimacy of the 24-hour massage place near the Quest? I don't know about that. I'm sure they're out there. I don't know about the place you're talking about. Hey, Chris, I see you were cruising around down Salvador. I'm always there when I visit my Filipina, and I love it up there. We stay at a place called Forest Cabin. Looking forward to getting back. Troy, I loved it up there. And if it wasn't for this active volcano that's blowing off that we're talking about, I would definitely consider going back up there really soon. That northern area is just gorgeous up there. I'm with you. I loved it up there. I thought it was really beautiful. One of the things, though, that's kind of spooked me a little bit about that area that I heard is that there are some, what is that, NWA, or I can't remember what they're called, the People's Army. There is a little bit of a rebel presence up there, but most of the time for us, it's a political kind of thing where foreigners aren't a kind of a target of that, but it is there. So it's something to kind of be a little bit mindful of. I never had any problems I never had any problems anywhere. Never had any problems in Mindanao. Never had any problems in Negros. But yeah. The Bogatan Highlands looks nice if you don't need to live by the sea. I'm with you. I can't wait to ride that. I cannot wait to go ride that up there. Yeah, sorry, just checking out what's going on over there. Philippines is prone to natural disasters, volcanoes, earthquake, storms, and it's girls. That's right. Oh, man. Yeah, really interesting stat. I'm really shocked at that. Just by living and seeing that, more rainfall. But this makes sense that it's actually spread out over the year. And I really don't. I would say this, guys, weather in general is a non-issue for me. Like non-issue. Like none. It doesn't impact what I'm up to. It doesn't impact anything about me. I think a lot of that is the regions that I've been chosen to live in. It's not. If it's rain, I just wait a little bit and then I'm, back out. So yeah, really interesting. Yep. Okay. That's the continuation of that comment. Yeah. Ampin. Ayawayo. Hi from Queens, New York. Sad about Mark Thornton. Yeah, 20 minutes from an ambulance to arrive at the estate, 20 minutes to drive to the hospital. It was just a regular van with drivers. I don't know. So I do know he passed. Rest in peace, Mark. I never met the guy. I was in Dumaguete a couple times, but I never met him. But yeah, absolutely. It's always sad when someone passes and that kind of deal. I wish him and his family the best. I understand he's got a young child, right? So I definitely wish them the best and hope all goes well for them. That's a hard time. I don't know what happened. That's really, you're pointing to something here that I had not heard. Of course, I haven't really gone out of my way to find out kind of more about what happened, but it's interesting that what I read and what you're saying is if he was maybe closer to some emergency services, he would have been maybe still around. So, which is something that people bring up a lot is access to healthcare and that. And I think that's a little bit over exaggerated just because, I mean, come on, if you're in, for most of us living out in even the remote parts of the United States, you're going to be hours away from, a major hospital. So I think it's very similar here. Of course, you don't have flight for life and that kind of deal here. But yeah, no, I wish his family the best, right? It can be challenging. When Cancun recently kicked off, there was no ashfall in Bacolod. Iloilo did get some though. Interesting. Yeah. Because I do think I've been looking at that. The wind direction, depending on low pressure systems, can change around there. So, but typically it looks like it's going southwest, which would be the opposite direction from Iloilo and Bacolod. So yeah, scary for sure. AI is awesome. Are you making your own music? No, I have not tried that. I use AI music for their no drama, no copyright. Interesting. Yeah, so I've been using what the hell, Epidemic Sound, I believe is what I've been using for my music. I pay for it, right? It's whatever. There's a license fee. Can't remember how much it is. What, 10, 20 bucks a month or so. But I have been using Epidemic Sound. I need to explore with that. AI music sounds great. Yeah, no, I've been using AI mostly for YouTube stuff. Most of my AI stuff is outside of YouTube, just like that, researching rainfall and that kind of deal. But AI for YouTube is I use for titles, I use it for thumbnail creation. Freaking so easy on thumbnail creation. I really dig that a lot. It's a huge time save. I basically put in prompts what I'm looking for and it generates it. Although it's been a little bit tricky trying to get it in the right aspect ratio because it wants to put it out 10 by 24 versus whatever 16 by 9. But yeah, so that's been a little bit tricky recently. But yeah, I'm really a big fan of AI. I freaking dig it, man. But I haven't used it too much as far as content other than, like I said, videos and titles. And that title stuff has been around for a while. vidIQ has been kind of doing that for folks for a long time. I've never tried that before. But yeah, no, I'm digging it, man. I love it. I just I like it for everyday stuff. It's pretty much replaced Google for me. I really enjoy the output and how simple it is to kind of interact with. Big fan. Yeah. Sun is raining down. Yeah, it's sunny out here. Yeah. What are we talking about? Yeah, I missed it. That's Stiller. We built a house in 2021 and sold it recently with a profit of 4 million. Not a good investment. Yeah. I mean, I don't know, man. I just, especially when you're talking about condos and all that stuff, it's condos in Cebu City. I mean, Richard's holding on to a condo there in Manila. You just gotta be careful, man. You gotta be careful. Like what I would do with condos is, if you're looking to buy it with the intention of never selling it. If you're looking at investment land and property, look at what's close proximity to Cebu and what you can travel to. Islands like Camotes and Bohol. Yeah, I don't know. I would really just caution people in looking to do any kind of real estate investments with the idea of kind of making money off of it. I don't know, man. I think you're looking for trouble there if that's what you're looking for. If you're looking to just buy a place you can be in, yeah, sure, whatever. And yeah, but that's can be dangerous, I think, just because. I mean, I look at Cebu and everything that they're building up, man, it's just exploding. There's so much growth and there's condos everywhere. I mean, I think they're just oversaturating the market. Wait, what female vloggers are a front for an escort for service? You know, man, most of those girls, man, most of the girls, if you look at, most of these girls are one step from an OnlyFans page, right? It's just, especially the ones that do nothing but live stream, and they're meeting foreigners all the time. I mean, just look, right? Just, you could see, especially the ones that are traveling around from different cities to different countries. I mean, who are they meeting? I mean, you start putting that puzzle together. But, obviously not all of them. But it's a fine line with these female vloggers where, are they being creative? Are they putting out content? Are they creating videos? Or are they just doing live streams and shaking their can, right? And so a lot of them have figured out they can just get on live stream and then they meet some of these guys, So yeah, I feel bad for some of these girls because they're falling into a pretty bad trap, and they're not, what happens 10 years from now in that type of situation, right? Now they're in their whatever, I feel bad. And they've been a community bicycle, they're being westernized in a lot of ways. They're dating a lot of men and that kind of deal. So, yeah, the female Philippine vlogging scene is in some ways, to me, I feel it's kind of a little bit of a tragic situation for these young girls. I just think a lot of them are going down wrong paths, and that's kind of the trend too. I think in general with just vlogging and Philippines vlogging is, you're chasing views, man, and you know, it's I see other channels, I see that, and even my own self, right? And putting out content and stuff. For me, I just got to focus on not worry about the views, not worry about any of it, but just create content that I like, create content that I feel is creative in some way, or making people happy and laugh and joke. You know, like I said, how to poop in the province. I mean, come on, man, that just busts me up. I know I'm a 10-year-old, right? But you know, that's the kind of stuff that I want to have fun with, writing videos or that. Yeah. So I feel a little bit sad for a lot of these Filipino vloggers that are out there kind of doing that stuff. It's not a good scene. Most of the hot girls from Leyte work in bars. This is a generalization, which outright belong, right? So true. Rebel presence up there. No, I was not there. Hey, what's up? One of the girls that's not a escort. Your timing is great, Rowena. How are you? It was wild seeing you guys. So a quick backup. I was in Cebu, I don't even know, a couple weeks ago. I've been kind of back and forth a little bit, but ran into you and Joe and Filipino Wanderer. I can't remember her name, Marianne or Mary Rose. Anyways, whole group of you guys sitting out there at the table. It was really great. People had tipped me off that you guys were there. So I wanted to come by and say, I almost walked up and said hi, but I can tell by Joe's expression that it wasn't probably the best time to do it, because it looked like there may have been some other guy there too. But really cool seeing you. Really wild seeing. I saw the video that you did with Joe. I admit that I was shocked by that, given the fact that Joe was incredibly jealous of you at the time. But it makes sense that things are complete there between she and I. But I hope you're good. I hope you stay safe. And yeah, I think about your experiences in Thailand. You know, the things that happen there, and with the Filipino vloggers. You know, it's an interesting dynamic that you girls face. That's the male vloggers really just don't. But yeah, hope you're good there. Hope your channel's good. Hope you're doing well. And we'll see you around the hood. One of the biggest causes of death in the United States is the insane cost of healthcare. It's expensive. Yeah, you got to have insurance, right? There is NCS on YouTube for music. Okay. I use music for AI music. It writes the whole song for you, man. Wow. I'll have to look at that. Yeah, appreciate that, man. I'll have to look at that. I've been using, like I said, Epidemic Sound. I really struggle with it, man. Just even this freaking reggae music that I put on this freaking live stream intro. I mean, it probably took me a good half hour to find music that I was interested in. And even then, it's like, this is kind of the best that I could find, right? So music has been a little bit of a challenge. How's it going with the rental adventure bike company? Well, non-existent. So there was two businesses that I was really kind of looking at do, the rental agency as well as consulting. And I'm kind of happy about it, but I can't do anything on a tourist visa, right? So for me to kind of do something different, I have to get on a business visa of some sort, either retirement visa or business visa. So that really has been the biggest obstacle in that. But so right now we're just kind of doing meetups and rides and that kind of deal. But the adventure stuff, you know, what I'm doing now is I'm just kind of casing stuff out for future rides kind of deal. But yeah, I don't know if I'll ever be able to do that, Morton, just because of the visa. And I don't know if I want to. You know, like I said, this whole thing with the foreigners in Cebu and that kind of deal, it's opened my eyes up to, do I really want to do that kind of deal? Or do I want to just be more removed, focus on creating videos and content, and not so much about doing these big group foreigner meetups kind of deal, right? Like those weren't good experiences for me. Really just kind of brought a lot of chaos and crazy into my life, as well as Mary Rosa's. So yeah, we've changed a little bit in our thinking around what we want to do there. Hey man, how to poop in the province is an important video. If you're a foreigner in the Philippines, this is an important skill set to have. It is, right? And we have no idea how to use that damn bucket. I've never even used a bidet before I moved here, but man, I have to say I'm a huge fan I can't imagine going back to freaking. I don't even buy toilet paper. You know, you don't need it out here. But I can't imagine going to toilet paper now after being out here. I just, I don't want to gross people out, but the whole idea of smearing crap all over your backside versus washing yourself. I mean, come on, man. It doesn't take a rocket science to figure that out. And the Filipinos and most probably European or outside of the West, they just kind of look at us like, what are you guys doing? What that's how you clean yourself? I mean, think about it, man. There's a guy does this monologue. What's his name? Craig? I can't remember the guy. He had that bone skeleton thing in his show. He's not on the air anymore, but he does this whole freaking monologue about it. It's hilarious, man. It's hilarious. Talking about how if you're walking your dog and you get poop on your hand, right, from picking up the bag, you know, are you actually just going to go take a piece of tissue and no, you're going to freaking wash your hands and that kind of deal. So it's just really funny, man. Really funny. Every time I catch your live stream, it's over 100 minutes every time. It's over 100 minutes. Yeah, I typically go 2 hours. So I typically go 2 hours, right around. I've gone longer. I've gone shorter. Golf Pro. Well, fix my elbow, red tea. What's up, dog? Dude, I recognize your screen name. You haven't been on in a while, right? All right, we dropped off. We got we got the 2 hour mark. First thing that runs out in panic buying at TP, bottled water. Yeah, I remember during the pandemic, we had couldn't find toilet paper in the United States. I know. I'm telling you guys, install a bidet, and that problem is solved. Solved. Yeah, bidet, it really is. I think we have a weird custom around that in the West. You know, we really do. The toilet paper is, you know, not the way to do not the way to do that. You haven't done alarms? I haven't, man. I did the one in CDO. I tried to do one in CDO a while back when I was on the road, but I had technical difficulties with the internet there. This is actually my first live stream from Leyte, so I'm really kind of excited about how this is working. I had some questions about, well, I've got really, really, really good internet service here. Guys, I've got a fiber deal here. And you know what? Let's stop sharing. Yeah, present. I'm going to just show you, share screen, Google Maps, share. I've got really good internet service here. Probably one of the best services I've had. Yeah. And it's, dude, I've got fiber to the jack, man. So you're going to see here in a second. Look at that. Freaking, I got full duplex, right? So you got 256 down, 256 up. It's just amazing, man. I freaking dig this. Like I said, some of the best internet, and I'm remote Philippines, you know, super remote. I mean, this is just, I love the internet out here. So when I was in the United States, or not in the United States, but when I was in Cebu, I had Globe, and it was okay, right? Like I would get maybe like 150 down and maybe 20 up because it was twisted pair. Here I got freaking fiber to the jack, so I'm full duplex and getting really fast speeds up and down. So really excited about my internet out here. I know that's a question that some people ask, how's that kind of deal? The one thing, because they're looking to work remotely, the one thing I would say about that kind of idea, if you're looking to live and work remote, is you're also going to want a little bit of a battery or a UPS type of situation, some type of generator, either solar generator or gas generator for when there are power outages. So out here, they get twice a month, roughly, they get blackouts. I know a lot of guys talked about, I think they mispronounce it or misword it where they call it brownouts. They're actually blackouts, right? Where you don't have any power. My understanding of a brownout is it's a different voltage, but a blackout is complete loss. So we have blackouts, right? Very common in the Philippines. So what I would do if you need that uptime where you're working or living remotely, you're going to want some kind of either a solar generator or a gas power generator. so that during those blackouts you can have power. So yeah, but now that one of my concerns around that with my current internet is that power is still going to be required to transmit that. Even if I got power here on my laptop, I might not have internet. So, Elon Musk has got that, Starlink, I believe it is, where you can look to do that. So yeah, living remote, there's some ways around that, but my internet service is just freaking rock star, man. I love the internet service out here. Yeah, man. No, I'm digging it. I'm really digging it. Yeah. So I'm looking at Starlink Mini as well. That was something I thought about. The problem with Starlink Mini though is the cost, and I'm still not I'm not going to get up, maybe get 100 meg up or 100 meg down, and maybe whatever 20 or so up from what I was seeing on the reviews on Starlink. But I could take it with me. I could actually strap it to the back of the motorcycle. I mean, the antenna is like the size of a sheet of paper. So that's something I thought about as well. I mean, can you imagine live streaming while you're riding? That'd be freaking epic, right? And I've thought about doing that, hook it up where you guys could see the cameras. Now, granted, I couldn't interact and have a conversation, but, live stream from some of these really cool destinations with a Starlink Mini would be freaking rock star. But it's a lot more expensive, right? You're looking at whatever, I think it's around, I can't even remember the cost. Well, first, it's not quite available yet in the Philippines. And some of that I speculate would be cost related. But yeah. I've thought too about the Starlink Mini and still considering it. The internet service I have here now is phenomenal. I would look at the Starlink Mini for more of a travel kind of deal. Like if I'm out and about, I'm looking to do some camping, doing some of that kind of stuff. So that would be a way to kind of bring that service out to like a campsite, like live stream from some of these super remote areas. That would be kind of cool. But for everyday like service, I'm really liking this PLDT service that I have here, and Globe has been pretty good on that. But yeah, no, it's something I'm considering, but it would be more of those remote situations. It's cool to hear that the Philippines now has good internet. I sort of wish it happened years ago when I went to venture out in the Pines. I sort of wanted a friends who need or come with. Yeah, the internet, and I'm super remote, and they're running fiber all through here. So, I mean, in some ways I got better internet here than I did in the United States. I mean, it's really good service out here. The Starlink with a battery backup is the way to go, dude. If you're looking to move here and work here and you're needing that connectivity, absolutely. Then you could run, because with Starlink on that, with some type of solar generator or generator, because you're looking at the sky, you're not dependent on any type of because I think if fiber went down, there's going to be hardware to kind of transmit that fiber optic line. So without power, even though I don't really have any modem, the wall that I have here doesn't have any power. Well, actually, no, I do have the modem box there, but I believe even if I was able to power that up, like they're going to have some type of repeaters or stuff like that at these lines that would require power. Be interesting to see though. I'd be interested to know if that's the case. Like if I put my modem on like a UPS, would I still have internet service if the power went down? I'm thinking not. Versus Starlink, because at that point you're talking to a satellite, right? So that would be the way to go there. And I might look to that at some point down the road. It's not quite available yet, but I would look to that. Just to straighten up the rental from a big bike rental there, the market for appeal to an adventure bike ride too. Yeah, no, Morton, I'm still into that. It would be fun to do, because really what I see in that would be like I get them a lot now. Hey, let's go. You want to go ride and that kind of deal? Guys would look it up and yeah, they want to go ride. Most of these guys who ride, they don't want to ride a scooter. Nothing against the scooter. And as I have the ADV 60 out here now, riding it around a ton all throughout the town, I really, really, really like it. But most guys, they want a motorcycle. So I'm with you. It would be fun. I would agree. I would love to it'd be an excuse and a reason to buy some bikes, right? And it is something I'll look to do, especially as the channel becomes more profitable. it could be tax write-offs for me in that way. So it will be something I could see doing the next year or two. Right now, I can't, like I said, because of visa stuff. But I do see as it something I would look to do down the road. It's just there's some one financial and two visa are the kind of the big roadblocks that I have right now. But that would be great, man. I'd love to pick up the 450 MT. I'd love to pick up the 450 Himalayan. I like to maybe pick up the new 390 that the KTM's putting out potentially. There are a lot of bikes in this middleweight, lightweight adventure bikes over the past couple of years now that are just crushing it. Really excited about that. There was another bike that I kind of was interested. Kawasaki, right? I don't know if you guys saw the EICMA stuff that Kawasaki's got. I think it was a 500. Looks like 2-cylinder CC bike that's coming out. That bike looks great. That might be a bike that I pick up too. So yeah, man, really excited about this motorcycle segment that just seems to be just booming over the past 5 years. I just, for here, you know, these big bikes, these leader bikes, anything over maybe 700 cc, 800, 900 cc, they're just, I think they lack the practical side of riding around here. Although in Mindanao with these big open roads and stuff, I could see actually having a little bit bigger bike. But yeah, man, I'm really excited about these kind of light to middleweight bikes that are just exploding, man. Really, really cool. Really cool. Hey, are you in your second apartment in Leyte or still in the first one? If you're in your second one, good. Yes. So Kevin, I had moved. So we were in this really small studio apartment. I mean, the dang thing was a shoebox. And the idea around that apartment was for one, it would be Mary Rose's primary residence. She would live here, go to school, that kind of deal. And I would keep a residence in Cebu and travel around the Philippines, right? That was the idea, the thought around the apartment. Well, another apartment opened up and it's bigger. It's really twice the size. So we got a 1-bedroom apartment here. We just moved in. I mean, we just moved into it. So we're painting, that kind of stuff. So yeah, we're in a new apartment. I don't know the square footage or square meters on it. It's like, I think I measured this one, the long wall is like 25 feet and the other wall is like 17 feet. So whatever that square footage is or square meters is, it's got a huge outdoor kitchen in there. I am going to be shooting a video on this apartment just because I think it's really interesting. Like I was saying before, it cost me 1,400 pesos per year to rent this place, which is cheaper than 1 month my apartment in the United States. So, but yeah, so we're in a new place. I just got in yesterday. We packed up all of our stuff in Cebu. We moved everything over from Cebu, used LBC to ship all that stuff. Like I think I got 15 or so boxes that are coming. So yeah, I'm officially out of Cebu and I'm full-time in Leyte in a new apartment out here. So I'll be shooting a lot more stuff out of here. I'll show you guys around this place too. So really excited about this place. I can see keeping this place. Guys, it's 6,500 pesos a month. Freaking dirt cheap, man. I can see keeping this place for a long time. And not only that, it's really energy efficient in the sense that the way it faces, we get a lot less direct sunlight. We don't even have the aircon on. We turn the aircon off at night. It's super cool in here right now, just with fans running. We do run the aircon during the day a little bit on the hotter part of the day on some days, not all days, just simply because of how it's facing and less direct sunlight. And it's concrete, so it's really insulated. Yeah, Starlink phone soon in 2025. Interesting. Yeah, I'm interested in what they're up to for sure. Of course, too, with Elon and his involvement politically, I think we're going to see more and more of him, right? Are you still going to Cambodia? I would love to go to Cambodia. I do. I would love to go to Cambodia. I want to go to Thailand and things like that. When I was looking at Cambodia, there was a little bit more of a scare for me, and it's still there a little bit around long-term living in the Philippines. You know, there's a trend of, and who knows kind of the initiative behind a lot of that. But there were some videos that popped out around, getting people on the right visa. So like me, right? Like I'm on a tourist visa. Is that a right visa? So we'll see on that. But that's what Cambodia is for me, is it's a backup plan. Is I don't really want to move back to the United States at all. I can't afford to live in the United States. on whatever, 36 a year, right? So, but I can afford to live in a lot of other places throughout Southeast Asia, Cambodia being one of them. So that was my thought around Cambodia as and it still is. It's my kind of my backup plan if the Philippines, for some reason, I get denied access or if I get kicked out or whatever, right? So yes and no. Am I still superly actively pursuing it? Not as much as I was, whatever, probably back in August or so when I was talking about that. But it's still there. I do want to go out there. I want to check out Phnom Penh. What's that? Siem Reap. Those two areas in particular look great. I've had some input since I was talking about that. I've had some guys talk to me a lot about those two areas and got some ideas around what city looks good. Phnom Penh looks great. A little bit bigger town. That seems to me where I would want to kind of go and check some stuff out. But yeah, I don't have anything booked, but still something I need to check out. Yeah, no worries, man. Nice, glad you're back. Yeah, welcome back, man. I can't wait for Apple to take tier 2. Can't wait for Apple to take tier 2. What do you mean by that, brother? Yeah, bring back. Yeah, I'm a big Apple guy, right? I have iPads and iPhones and all that stuff. So I'm a big Apple guy. Bring back the tiny phones with no internet. Yeah. Phones aren't. This is the Pro Max, so yeah, I've gotten kind of a little bit used to that form factor, but I know what you mean. Yeah. Let's see how my battery's doing. Yeah. KTM is done, going for bankruptcy in January. Has that? Yeah, it'd be interesting to see how that plays out. My understanding with KTM is someone's going to pick them up, right? Like, I don't think, yeah, someone will pick them up. Someone will buy them out, whatever. Probably, what are they speculating? CF Moto? So yeah, maybe. We'll see. Will you please look up and show the new SkyGo Monarch Tempest 250cc motor? It looks pretty killer. Wow. Oh yeah, I've seen the SkyGo around. I've seen that brand. Yeah, they're really popular here for sure. Yeah. No, let's look at it. Why not? Present, share screen, speed test, share, SkyGo. Is that it? Yeah, there we go. Yeah, there's the 150. Yeah, let's see what they got. Motorcycles. I have not been to this site yet. Huh. Oh, interesting. Ooh, looks like I'm losing battery. Let's see here. There we go. The Wizard. That's the one I see quite a bit around here, I think. Huh. The King, that's the 150. There's a 120. I don't see a 250. Yeah. I do see these bikes around here. They're pretty inexpensive. Yeah, that's funny. Yeah. I don't know if I would be interested in buying one. I'm definitely a Japanese kind of guy, like Honda, Yamaha, Suzuki, that kind of deal. But yeah, too funny. I've seen them around, though. Popular bike for the Philippines, for sure. The modern day political mix that Trump called pirate ship, but it's got is unique. Helping Elon cuts so much waste. Yeah, no, it'll be interesting to see how things play out. Yeah, it'll be interesting to see what they do. Yeah. Look up the Tempest, please. Okay, yeah. Tempest. Let's see here. Let's see what we got. SkyGo Tempest. They don't show. Let's see here. 1 second. Just kind of pulling it up. Yeah, maybe this is it. It's a Facebook post. All right. 131,000? Huh. Yeah, not much on it. I'm not seeing it. They don't have it on their main page. Yeah. So I know a lot of people like this bike too, the Beastrom 250. Yeah, I mean, Beastrom is phenomenal motorcycle. I'm actually looking at maybe even a little bit bigger bike. Yeah, I'm looking at, so one of the problems that I have with the NX500 is this light front end. I get it loaded up with my gear and my bags. I feel like that front end just starts to come up, and it's really, my handlebars, I'm feeling the shake. So, yeah, now I could check that rear spring, and I've had that rear suspension supposedly maxed out already with the preload, but yeah, so I don't know. We'll see. I'll maybe swap out the rear spring and that kind of deal, see if that helps out the rear suspension. But yeah, it's one of my concerns. But one of the things I'm also looking at is maybe a little bit bigger bike. Maybe the Transalp. We'll see. Kawasaki is coming up with some new bikes too, so it'll be interesting to see how things come up. Yeah, there's talk of Trump partly in crypto and backing 10-year treasury. If you have a feeling like the art of the deal might be paying off the debt with some sort of gold-plated bars, aka crypto Trump style. Man, I tell you, it's going to be interesting to see how things are over the next couple of years, man. It'll be really interesting to see. Yeah. It's 2 hours, 2.5 hours. What do we got going on? What are we doing, babe? We're going to go to Ormoc today?
Yes, I'm still washing. I'm still doing the laundry.
Yeah, so Mary Rose is doing laundry. We actually bought a washing machine. Guys, I really like my new apartment. You guys are going to freak when you see it. I like my apartment, and the reason why I like this so much is I feel like it's mine, right? So we bought furniture, we bought couches, we got TVs, we got a washing machine. Got this apartment going on here. That's one of the big differences when you move out into some of these other areas is, they're unfurnished. The partner, there's nothing in them. So we've been painting, we've been getting all this stuff in here. We got a nice couch, nice big TV. I got a big 65-inch flat screen TV. Hey, babe, I'm going to flip the well, I don't know if you guys can see it. Yeah, here, I'll show you. Let's turn off the face tracking. Oh, can't see it. Yeah, you can't see it. My bad. So, but I'll shoot a video on it for sure. Big TV, big old kitchen. We got appliances. We got air fryer. So I'm digging it, man. I'm digging it. I just like, it feels like it's my space, right? Like, I'm not like a guest in somebody's house kind of deal. So I'm digging it out here. And it's led me to kind of think, I would like to build my own home, really into that. So, but yeah, I'm liking it out here a lot in the provinces. It's good times. Bitcoin might go like some to say to 1 million, but I'd say 4 times that. Some kind of tax credit is giving. So one of the things what about this new, what is this quantum computing? Isn't there some concern regarding that in Bitcoin? I don't understand the correlation. But that was one of the things I was hearing recently too, is this new computing cracking, whatever. I don't know, right? Like I don't know much about it to kind of comment fully, or even Bitcoin, right? My investments have been traditional investments, right? Like I have a Schwab brokerage account, and I do it's just index funds, right? I only really run 2 of them. But that's kind of the bulk of my stuff in my investment expertise, if you even want to call it that, right? I set and forget, but that could be some expertise. But yeah, so I don't really know much about it, There are videos on YouTube on the Monarch Tempest. It's so new. There are a few pictures on it. Yeah. Inverted fork, etc. Huh. Yeah, that's really interesting. Monarch. Let's see what we can find. Yeah, Tempest 250 price Philippines. Yeah, I'm seeing some stuff on there. Let's see images. All right. Another I'm liking Royal Enfield. They got the Gorilla 450. Man, Royal Enfield is freaking crushing it, man. I'm digging them. I'm liking that brand. I did sell my Hunter 350 to a buddy of mine. Shout out to you, Jack. You'll be seeing him around. He's going to be riding around on the Hunter 350. But yeah, you know, I really like Royal Enfield. I like what they're up to. I mean, if anything, I feel like they're really kicking off this lightweight, middleweight segment. You know, they're crushing it, man. You know, they got the Himalayan, they got the 400cc, they got the 350cc bikes. I'm digging them, man. I like what they're up to. I like it. I think they're really innovating. They remind me of Apple in the early 2000s, right? When Apple was coming out. I mean, shit, I worked in the IT industry, right? Freaking overnight, BlackBerry went away, gone. Just crazy how that innovation of the iPhone. And I really feel like Royal Enfield's doing a lot there too, in that same capacity where they're just coming out with bikes that people aren't making. And I dig it, man. I dig it. Now a lot of people are jumping on that bandwagon, right? As far as you know, these 300 to 500cc bikes. But that 450 Gorilla, that looks so cool. The 450 Bear, I think they're opening up that 650 market out as well with bikes. Yep. Yep. Watching Trump's online rants is a trip, dude. I can imagine, man. I can imagine. Now that I'm away from it for the past 2 years and haven't watched any of it, I'm a little more tolerant of it. Back when I was living there, of course, I was like, who the F is this guy, man? How is he our president? That kind of deal. And part of me still has a little bit of that, but admittedly, there's a part of me that's also a little bit of excited about what can happen out of this. So, you know, and then look, I don't want to get, because I'm really apolitical. I really don't, and I've kind of been this way my whole life. I never got into politics. I just never did. I always saw it as a way. The only thing for me was frustration out of it. So I really did. I've stepped back most of my life out of politics. I just don't engage in it. I didn't see the use of it. Right. Now local stuff like schools and ponds and all that kind of stuff, I did engage with. But the bigger stuff, I just never, you know, and I worked with, I was an IT guy for a law firm. I know politicians and judges and all that stuff, right? Like I worked with these guys. So, and my aunt, she was lieutenant governor of Colorado and ran for governor of the state of Colorado. So, you know, but for me, I just kind of stepped away from a lot of that stuff. Yeah. Beast from 650, 800, right on, Morton. And honestly, as I'm seeing some of the limitations of my NX 500, and mainly in weight and touring, I am actually looking at more of that 650 range. Beast from 650. I don't know if you guys watch the podcast with Zach and Spurgeon. Those guys, freaking, I love that show, man. I love that show. What the hell's the name of that show? Anyways, they're from Revzilla, right? Those guys that do that show. And, you know, Zach, you know, thinks Versus 650 is the best bike ever made. So that 650 platform to me is getting a little more, you know, thought, especially as I rode through Mindanao, as I'm getting out of Cebu, as I'm getting out of the city, I'm seeing where a little bit bigger bike would be usable. And that wasn't the case when I was in Cebu and touring around the island of Cebu. It's like, you just need a scooter, right? But as I'm getting out of these other areas, I'm seeing, all right, especially in particular Mindanao, freaking 4-lane roads. I mean, big open roads, no traffic. You know, you could move a little bit. Although I want to say though that the guys aren't used to the big bikes and riding in the speeds, man. You know, they're not used to the speeds. You get moving 50, 60 miles an hour down these roads, and you are moving so much faster than anyone's really ever seen. You know, so you just got to be careful. The dogs aren't used to that kind of speed. The people aren't used to that kind of speed. You know, I get a little bit worried about, you know, riding faster in some of these more remote roads. It's just I think you're opening yourself up to, you know, hitting the pavement, right? So yeah, really. But I'm with you, Morton. Yeah, nice, brother. Yeah, dude, I've been riding the crap out of this ADV 160. I'm digging it. I'm having fun with it. I'm seeing the super practical nature of it. Yeah. What about CF Moto? Yeah, no, the CF Moto, yeah, the 450 MT. I don't know if you guys watch Dork in the Road. Big fan of his content. But he just rated that bike as S tier. right? Number one. And yeah, in hindsight, I kind of wish I got that bike. I think, as I was saying earlier in the live, I think it could have brought a lot of attention to the channel. I think I'm with you. CF Moto, I think it's called the Ibex 450 there in the States. Here it's called the 450 MT. It sounds great. The engine, the sound of it. They call it the mini Tanneray. It sits. I own the Tanneray 700. I did not like that bike. I thought it was way too top heavy for my riding. It was uncomfortable for me to ride it off road. Understandably, I would have gotten used to it, right? I know that. That's why, I wasn't too worried about it at the time. But so, anyways, yeah, 450 MT looks like a great bike, mini Tanneray. I'm interested in, unfortunately, with KTM and the bankruptcy. That's a little bit. They've got some bikes, the 390 that's supposed to be coming out. That looks like a really good bike. Kawasaki and what they've got coming out, like they've hinted in EICMA. That looks like a great bike. So there are a lot of this bikes, Pete, that I'm excited about, and I think I think that there's a lot in this segment to be happy about. Yeah, two up with luggage. The freaking front end, and maybe I've got a tire issue. Maybe I've got a tire. I'm still in the inquiry. Admittedly, I'm disappointed with this that's happening with the NX 500. I don't feel comfortable above 50 kilometers per hour. I'm the freaking front end, man. I'm with you. Yeah, maybe the Transalp. If I wanted to stick with Honda, maybe the Transalp. I don't know. Maybe the Himalayan. I'm kind of more of a fan of a Himalayan more than I am the CF Moto, just because of the reliability. I mean, CF Moto has been building KTM. KTM's got the freaking 790 cam issue, or even the 800, right? They got the 890 or 7. Anyways, they got that cam issue that they've got going on. So if anything, I'm more of a Himalayan Royal Enfield fan of the Himalayan 450 versus the CF Moto. I think the 450 Himalayan's got a better suspension on it. The CF Moto, the 450 MT, has got a better engine. It's got a more exciting engine to it, better sounding, that kind of deal. But as far as bikes, I mean, man, I think you're splitting hairs between the 450 MT and that 450 Himalayan. And I don't know, I like Royal Enfield a little bit better. Yeah, yep. Yeah, no quantum computers are not in danger of Bitcoin. They are danger to old code that has net still issues. Yeah, okay. Yeah, quantum computers are not a danger to Bitcoin. Yeah, I'm a rookie, right? I've seen a little bit of conversations around that with quantum computing and seeing where that goes. Yeah, so, yep. Yeah, really interesting though, brother. Yeah. I know a lot of guys are into Bitcoin. Of course, David Bond, and I haven't seen him recently, mainly because I've been out of Cebu, but I know he's, really big into that as well. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I've heard the vlogger touch me time on my, yeah, he's too much time on my hands. He's a Phil guy. He does the shorts where 1.8 80% growth. Yeah, he's into day trading, right? I know what you mean. I've seen a little bit of that stuff, right? Yeah, I know a lot of day traders, actually. Well, not a lot. I've met a couple. There's another guy who he and I have been chatting with every now and then. He's a day trader and really sharp dude, man. Whew, man. For me, though, my investment strategy is more long-term stuff. I like just index funds and stuff. I'm sticking my money in there and just kind of watching it grow and living off. Man, I needed this, guys. So when I'm 50, well, I'm 54 now, right? But when I moved here, I was 53 and, pulling the trigger early. So I had some cash and some investments, but I've been doing 30% on that. And in my calculations of living here till I get to 59 and a half, so I'm going to start pulling my 401k, which is where the bulk of my assets are. I was close to making it, so thankfully early on, like these first couple of years that I've been here, I've been living off the interest because I've been doing 30%. So I'm almost worth like the same amount when I got here. But that's been the bulk of my investments, is just been that kind of deal, right? Where I've just been, I just do it, big index funds, that kind of stuff, safe, hopefully. But yeah. Meta is the best way for long-term crypto. In my opinion, they have become the biggest temp company with Facebook and AI, Instagram, WhatsApp, Oculus VR, etc. Yeah, okay. I don't know shit about crypto. Maybe I should. I mean, I've got time. Well, I don't really have a lot of time. My time is learning how to grow chickens and buying houses and stuff like that. I feel like my investment stuff is pretty spot on. It's just like I like a more of a hands-off perspective on my investments. I don't want a daily deal where I have to kind of do a lot of that stuff. My daily deal is more like cinematography and videography, flying drones around, motorcycling, that kind of deal. But yeah, that's really cool. No, I know there's, and I know speculation with the Trump, with the presidency, if he was to win, that crypto would see a good bump, and I don't know if that's been the case or not. But yeah, really exciting. You know what? I think I need to plug some stuff in here or switch out. 1 second. You know what? I need to switch out. I think that worked. Yeah. Why is that still on? Okay. Yeah, I think that worked. You guys hear me okay? I switched out microphones. Okay. I think I'm good. It was dying. Pete says, I have a Royal Enfield Meteor 350. I know that bike well. Fun and good looking bike. They do need more maintenance, but it's easy maintained to do yourself with minimal tools. Yeah, Pete, big fan of Royal Enfield. I had the 350 Hunter, and I put just over 7,000 kilometers on that bike riding through the Philippines. I love that bike. I really am a big fan of Royal Enfield. I love what they're up to as a manufacturer. Their marketing, all of it, man. Big fan. I like it. I dig it. I really enjoyed that bike. I was sad to sell it, but I just sold it recently within a week or so to my buddy. You'll see the bike on the channel. He and I will probably do some riding together. But yeah, I'm a big fan. The Meteor is a great little cruiser. And I'm interested to see too, now that they've got that 450 Sherpa and they're starting to expand that engine out into other platforms. I'll probably own another Royal Enfield at some point. Maybe a 450 Scram if they come out with that, which I would think they would, or the Himalayan potentially, or the Gorilla. It just depends on financially, as we're talking about, as things grow with the channel and stuff like that. It opens me up. Maybe cross my fingers and get sponsorship with Royal Enfield, right? That would be cool too. I'm a huge fan. I love what they're up to as a company. Really, really dig them. Yeah, Merry Christmas. Yeah, man. Yeah. From Texas, Palapon is your hometown. Oh, nice, man. Oh, good for you. Yeah, good for you. I love your hometown. I love it out here. It is so cool. People are so friendly. The market, I just dig it, man. I dig it. The Jollibee, we were down at Jollibee yesterday and had ourselves some Sundays. So down there next to the DIY, we go in the DIY a lot and get stuff. The hardware store right there too. Mercury Drugs. Yeah, so love your little hometown, and it's beautiful out here. I hope you get to come back soon. Yeah, but happy holidays to you as well. I love all the bikes you as well, but I'm looking for the bike that is more budget limited for like myself. Yeah, no, I get you, man. Yeah, great little bike. The nice thing about that too, Kevin, is you could probably get it worked on pretty easily here. That those shops are pretty abundant if you didn't want to do your own work. But yeah, no, it looks great, man. I'm with you. No, it looks, I love two wheels, man. I love all bikes, two wheels. I'm a huge motorcycle fan. I've been my whole life. And it sounds like you're out here, right? This is a great place to ride, man. Just gorgeous. You've got a friendly culture that you could ride around, that take you in a heartbeat if you had any problems. You've got a safe environment for the most part, right? There's some areas that we don't want to be in. But for the most part, we have a really friendly, safe environment that's incredibly scenic. I mean, come on, man. The riding here is just out of this world. Really is. Yeah, I'm with you, brother. I dig it. Yeah, check out the yeah. No, and it's true. No, these are great bikes to look at as well, Kevin. You know, Richard owns the NK, loves that bike. You know, great machine. Yeah, either bike would be good, and they're inexpensive. They're for what they have. Yep. Yeah. No, those are great machines, man. Really, really good machines. Yeah, 50 to 60 mile. I know, right? I know. Yeah, well, you're riding up there in Manila on the interstates. Dude, I'm telling you, brother, you get down here in the provinces and you come 60 miles an hour, you might be eating pavement. I mean, you just got to be, because look, the dogs and the people aren't used to that. They're just not. They're not used to people flying down these roads. They're used to scooters and stuff and that kind of deal where things are moving slow. So at least that's my take, right? And not that it's any kind of truth, but that's kind of what I see is that you get out in these roads and you get burning maybe 70, 80 miles an hour. You know, there's just nobody is used to seeing that type of speed. So therefore, they don't know how to react. Like the animals don't know how to react. The people don't know how to get out of your way quick enough. Yeah, but yeah, man. My channel, I review yeah. Richard's got some stuff there where he's shoots and records from his bike. So yeah, definitely. Love the Vogue 900 DSX that's hyping right now. Ooh, what bike is that, brother? Let's take a look. 900 DS. What is that bike? VOGE. VOGE. Ah. Okay. I haven't even heard of that brand. Wow. Interesting. Yeah. No, I've not seen that brand, brother. Yeah. I'm still a Japanese fanboy in a lot of ways. I like Royal Enfield. I like Honda. I like Kawasaki and Yamaha. You know, admittedly, I do like this middleweight segment that's coming out that's exploding. Unfortunately, all of them are do that. I owned a KTM. I really like KTM bikes. I had the 790 Duke. You know, there's some reliability factors there as well as longevity business factors there, right? With them bankruptcy stuff. So, but yeah, I'm a fan, man. I dig it. My friend sells their bikes at a dealer. He told me the NX had some light. Yes, yeah, you brought that up, man. And I don't know if mine is tire related or suspension related. I'm wondering if, Richard, I could fix that with just a better rear shock. Let's face it, you know, I'm 220 pounds, right? 100 kilos. And I got luggage on the back and maybe a girl, right? I don't think the bike is probably sprung for that. I'm thinking if I even just replace that rear suspension, that I could be in better shape with that. Potentially also that wobbly front end could be tire related. That I might have an out of balance tire or something like that. I've checked tire pressure, so it's not tire pressure, but it could be a bad rim, which is one of the reasons why I don't go to that freaking Honda dealership there. Not even to change my freaking oil, right? I'm doing all that stuff outside of that because I question that shop. So for various reasons. But yeah, no, I'm hoping to get it fixed with either maybe a spring, because I do plan on keeping that bike. Dude, I replaced that seat on there, man. The freaking seat is rock star, and I've got all this luggage and stuff. I kind of hate to get rid of it, but you know, if I do a touring thing and get that, I could make it a touring bike for a company, you know, for that. But I'm not a one bike kind of guy. I can definitely see, especially if things progress financially with the channel and stuff down the road, having multiple bikes for sure. Yeah, without a doubt. Multiple bikes, multiple cameras, multiple drones. The AI Musk has built for Tesla is getting to the point. Robocabs are coming. Yep, going to drop the cost of getting around cities for sure. Yeah, I can see that, right? Yep, I get it. I tried creatine. Yeah, on your record. I'm not sure I like it, but I think I recently tried taurine. It's been great. I'm looking to round up masses. I haven't seen taurine. I'll have to look at that. I've been taking creatine almost my whole life. Love it. Although recently I kind of been off, maybe now for a month or so. But a huge fan of creatine. Creatine's got a ton of benefits too for men. Just really, really great. I'm a huge fan of creatine. The other thing, honestly, that I've been taking that I think is another thing we should look at is, heck, what the hell is that called? It's Cialis. I can't remember what it's called, but for blood flow and that, it's meant to treat ED. So man, I'm a huge fan of Cialis, huge fan of creatine. Another workout enhancing thing that I've been taking is, what do you call it? Crap, there's another one. I can't even remember what it's called. BCAA, I think it is. So BCAA, creatine, and Cialis, man. Huge. And in particular, Cialis and creatine, I think as men age, I would invite us all to kind of look more at the Cialis side too, as far as aging men and health in that area. What's there, man? Because that, to me, and I'm not a medical expert, but I think for all of us guys in our 50s and up, there might be some health benefits for creatine and Cialis. So check those out for sure. And some of your dollar and some of your dollar is in Roth IRA. You can take contributions out of penalty. Feel free at any time. Somebody else was telling me about that. Yeah, I think I forgot what so I know there's a rule of 55. Like if you quit, laid off, or get fired over the age of 55, you can do penalty free. But I'm not working now. My IRA is my Roth. I have a little bit of both. I have some in Roth and then traditional. Most of it's in traditional. But yeah, my goal is not to have to touch that. I don't want to have to touch it till I get 59 and a half, and I shouldn't if I keep on track to, especially living out here, man. Are you kidding me? Freaking 1,700 for the year? I mean, come on, man. Or yeah, 1,700 US for the year. But yeah, but I should be good. I shouldn't have to touch any of that stuff. And then when I hit 59 and a half, I'll have the bulk of my assets that kind of go to plus, and then I could take Social Security at 62. So whatever, man. I should be fine once I get there. I should be, yeah. It is a little bit of got to be careful for the next 6 years or so, but it should be good. Yeah, Roth. Yeah, I hear you, brother. I know what you're saying there. I do have some in my Roth, which if I needed to, that should be able to get, if I got to like 58, whatever, or 59, where I'm like, oh crap, and I need to pull some money out, I'll look to potentially go that direction. But I think I should be good. And the idea is too with the channel is that by then, in the next couple of years, granted it's slow growing, but whatever. The next couple of years to pull in, 24 a year. If I could pull in 24 a year US and not touch any of my assets, and then allow that to grow, and then take that money that I was planning to live on and then buy and build a home, it's probably the pathway that I'll be taking. Yeah. If you're still living in America, what would you be doing now? Well, I'd probably still be in Colorado. I'd still be in IT working for law firms, hating my life. Yeah, probably what I'd be doing. I'd still be in Colorado. Yeah, working in law firms, in IT. So yeah, it's hard to believe it's been over 2 years now. It's crazy. Yeah. Yep. I don't know, right? Like I was at a stage where I'd been in Colorado for 20 years and I was looking to move. And so maybe I'd be out of Colorado. It's hard to say, but I'd be in IT just because I'd made a career out of it and I was making over 100,000. So, wouldn't want to start over anywhere. I probably couldn't afford to start over anywhere else in the United States, right? But yeah, it's hard to say what I'd be doing. Yeah, pretty cool. Good question. Remember, hit the like button. Yes, hit the like. Yeah, I appreciate it, brother. Yeah, thank you so much. I'm not there yet. I started a Philippines channel. Okay, yeah, all right, sweet. I started affiliate ahead of time to kickstart on YouTube channel before I get there. I have no videos yet, 7 subs. So, Kevin, one of my regrets on this channel is I didn't start it while I was in the United States. Like, I think for me, it would have been cool to document this whole journey, like my scouting. So I did shoot a video of my scouting trip, but like do more recordings and videos of the process that happened, like when I was coming out here, everything that I was doing, that kind of deal. Even for myself, I thought that I would have enjoyed starting earlier. I wish I started vlogging when I was in my wheelchair from my motorcycle accident. I wish I started then, because that would have just been really wild to see that whole. That was a crazy time in my life, man. Crazy time. 50 something years old, right? 52, whatever years old, in a wheelchair by myself in an apartment during the pandemic. I mean, you want to talk about a life-changing moment? That was it. That's so what happened during that time for me too, is I really got that I couldn't do corporate America anymore. Being home like that in my wheelchair and having time to think, man, it just opened my eyes up to what am I doing with my life, right? What am I doing with it? Working for someone else, giving my life to a corporation and a company that cares nothing for me. They're just using me, right? It really woke me up to my life. So I wish I would have started vlogging then. Yeah, that would have been incredible, man. Guys, I would get myself out of bed. Like I couldn't, so I broke both of my hips. So I couldn't walk. I couldn't put any weight on either of my legs. So I'm freaking doing like the pommel horse getting around, right? With my hands and just taking baths and getting out of bed. I'm alone. I'm just me. Now, my sister came out after that accident and spent a week with me, 2 weeks maybe. And then we lowered like everything down. Like I bought a new microwave and put it on my counter. I put my plates and dishes and all that stuff on the counter so I could reach crap, because I couldn't stand, right? I can't put any weight. And you got my bathroom set up with a toilet, a thing over the toilet where I can kind of grab onto, and then my bathtub set up, right? And then figured out how to move, like transfer weight with I had a slide board that I would move off those things. So yeah, just a really incredible time in my life where it's amazing how those times in your life really shift and change who we are. And one of the things that I saw is I just had time to think. I had time for me. I had time to like look at like my life and what I was up to. Really, really incredible. But yeah, good for you, dude. That would be one thing as well as that I would do different is start vlogging ahead of time, even just for myself to kind of reflect in kind of my life. And that it is one of the things in this channel is for me, 20 years from now, God willing, right, is to watch the stuff and just kind of laugh and whatever, right? As I'm kind of going through life. So a friend has Vogue 500. I think he's happy. I've never even heard of that, man. Really interesting. Hey, Xavier, what's up, brother? Speaking of guys who are out living their life and traveling around, check this guy's out, man. You're really talented in your cinematography and with your drone and all that. So, dude, I hope you're good, man. I hope you're well. Merry Christmas, safe riding, and see you on the road somewhere. Yeah, this guy's traveling all over, man. He's doing it Philippine style for sure. Good for you, brother. Hope you're good. Yeah, Merry Christmas. Enjoy the Philippines. Yes, thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, Vogue 900 is a BMW engine. Wow. Interesting. Interesting bike. Wow. I dig that. Yeah, interesting. Yeah. Huh. Never heard of them. Humble expat. Dude, what's up, man? I haven't seen you around in a while. Multiple girls? I just got one. I've always been a one girl kind of guy most of my life, mainly just because I would struggle with remembering who's doing what. There was a time in my life where I was kind of dating around a little bit. And what I did is I had to create a freaking spreadsheet. And I'm not talking a bunch of girls, right? Whatever, 2 or 3. But I'd create a spreadsheet of the details. So that way I wouldn't freaking confuse who's doing what. Birthdays, family, right? To me, that's way too much. And that's kind of the conclusion that I had. It's like, I'm just going to focus on one girl at a time. Date one, get to know her. That way I don't freaking confuse crap. Who's doing what, and birthdays and family and all that, right? So I'm a one. Not that there's anything wrong with guys who are dating 3 to 5 girls a week. Not that I'm not even jealous of that. Why? That was one of the things I asked David Bond, right? When I was chatting with him, dude, why the heck would you want 3 girlfriends? Why? I mean, to me that just sounds crazy and tireless and just, it's just too funny, man. I can't understand that logic at all. One is enough. Oh man, too funny. Once robocabs and dining cars are the gambit, the world's gonna open, and funds mix up between cities. I think it is opening up a lot. I think the pandemic really opened up it a lot. I think it also opened up a lot of remote working, although I know the trend of getting back to work is there. But I think the pandemic helped open up more of a kind of a global phenomenon with people just going everywhere, right? The best workout for your age is cute road. I know, right? She's so freaking, she's so fun, man. She's so great. A great girl. Great girl. Yeah, really cool. We're having a good time. Doi. Have you gone out to Indonesia to ride? No, I've not, and I want to. Yeah, that sounds great, brother. I'm that would be great. I'd love to. Oh, okay, good. Scared me there for a second. But yeah, no, I haven't. I have not gone out to Indonesia to ride. I'd love to ride all over Southeast Asia. I'd love to get out and ride at all. One of the things that I would struggle with is just getting either my motorcycle over there or picking up a bike there. But I would love to ride. There was a guy I just kind of watched. I didn't watch a lot of the video, but he just rode all of Vietnam. So cool. Yeah, so cool. My 3 top bikes are the Versus 650, V-Strom 650, and the Transbelt 750. I'm with you, dude. I could see myself having any one of those bikes. Being kind of more of a Honda guy lately, I do like kind of the idea of the Transbelt, but I'm with you. I like all 3 of those, and they're great machines, man. Yeah, great machines. Yeah, thanks, man. I did have to switch out my microphones to get them charged, but my battery doesn't quite last as long. Agree on 100%. I'm going to start making videos about why I'm leaving, why the Philippines exchange. It would be awesome to have the channel monetized or close to it by the time I get there. Sure. Yeah. The thing about YouTube that I would say for anyone looking to start a channel is, look, just do it for fun, man. Just do it for fun. Anytime you start to make it about a business or try to do it for money or try to do it for anything else, I think you get in this rabbit hole that a lot of YouTubers are in, man. They just get, I mean, you look at Mike's Philippines retirement, the guy's got like 3 or 4 channels, and it's just, dude, it's nonstop. And then he's constantly worried about content and putting videos out and that. And it just, dude, the longevity in that and the stress in that is just, do it for fun, man. Do it for fun, and then also to be careful of the content that you're putting out. You like, I dabble in very small, but like the 4 college girls video, right? You gotta be careful, because if you put out what I call Jerry Springer content, you put out tabloid tube, you get tabloid tube viewers, and you don't want that, man. You don't want that type of audience. You just don't. It creates stress. It creates chaos. So the thing I would talk about, anyone looking to do a YouTube channel, just have it be for fun, man. Don't worry about the monetization. Don't worry about any of that crap, because then you go down to a path that I think leads to exhaustion, leads to all of that. And I struggle with it too a lot. I do, admittedly. When I was doing the freaking writing videos and I was watching these videos that I put a lot of work and effort into, getting like 500 views, I'm like, man, I could just shoot a video with Mary Rose in her bikini and that'll get, a couple 100,000 views, but
you got to let that go. You got to shoot crap the audience that you want to bring and stuff that you enjoy, right? Yeah. And the other thing about that too, be very careful about putting your girl on the channel. Be very careful about that for so many reasons. I mean, guys, we got stalkers, we got people stalking her friends. You know, I also feel that YouTube is just not a good environment for relationships. I mean, it's just not, man. If you put your girl on the channel, you know, she's going to get guys that are hitting on her and that kind of deal. I've got girls that are flirting with me. You know, there's a lot of negatives towards doing a YouTube channel in the Philippines. There really are. And you got to have fun with it. You got to be passionate about the technology and the hardware. Otherwise, I just think after a time, you're just going to get, you know, even me, there's recently, there's been times it's like, do I really want to do this? What's the benefit for me? It's not financially. The channel costs me money. I don't make enough of the channel to cover my costs, right? So it's not about money, but I do enjoy this, and it does keep me busy. But there are some negatives with it too, right? There really are, you know, really are. But the main thing I would do is you got to do it for fun. You know, it's got to be fun for you what you're doing. And you know, in hindsight, would I do it all over again? No, I wouldn't. I don't think I would, actually. I think I would find another way to occupy my time. I'm not sure if I would do it all over again. It's really interesting. I've never thought about that. Is Christmas the biggest holiday in the Philippines? What are you planning to do for Christmas? Yeah, I think it is in some ways. I mean, they have an Independence Day, or is that what, July 13th, right? Yeah, there's some holidays here, but you know, being a very Catholic culture, it is probably one of the bigger holidays that's here. Yeah. And then also too, All Souls, or not All Souls, but Easter, right, is another big one too. The nice thing about Christmas here that I've talked about in some of my videos is it's not as commercialized, right? It's not about gifts. It's not about spending money. It's about family, and it's about being together. I love that part about Christmas here in this country. So it is a different holiday from what we're used to in the West. But yeah, I think you're right. I think it's probably one of the bigger holidays here in the country. Yep. Kevin, your channel, same as your name. Yeah, that probably is, yeah, his channel. Yep. Yep. That probably is his channel because he's applying for it. Yeah. My YouTube is just daily life. Yeah. Biking, stay away from politics, inflammatory stuff. Yeah. Dude, when you do tabloid tube, you get tabloid tube viewers. And yeah, it's something that I've learned kind of the hard way in some ways. And I still do, admittedly, I still do tabloid tube like very rarely, but I'll put one of those videos out to kind of generate some hype or whatever around that. But I don't do that type of content all the time. Like, I would say my tabloid stuff was that for the Beach with Four College Girls, and of course Mary Rose and I when we were laying in bed. But in the moment of creating that, it wasn't designed to be that way. But looking at it now, it is, right. And then, you know, I just try to keep my stuff funny. I want to make you guys laugh. I want to show you guys what life is like here. But you know, I want to laugh. I want to have fun. I want to joke. You know, yeah, that's kind of the intent to a lot of that, my channel and what I want to create. But I also want to give information, right? Like I want it to be informative. I want it to be entertaining. And admittedly, I struggle with that. And some of it's just because of my commitment to be more natural and organic than anything. Like, I don't want a script. You know, I don't want to be sitting here reading a script like, you know, a lot of other big channels do. And, you know, whatever, people really like that. And I get it. For me as a creator, I don't want to be reading a script to you. No way, man. I don't want to sit there and read a script. I just find, for me, that incredibly boring. That's a lot of reasons why I don't do interview stuff. I want the video to be dynamic. I want there to be action. I want there, movement and that kind of deal in the video. But yeah, I'll be in Manila for 3 weeks in February to do a Northern Luzon loop. If it works out, I'm crashing and moving there and to do, maybe not the YouTube part. In your experience, what's the average room rate, comfortable stay, place to write? Yeah. So the average, I try to shoot around the 2,000 pesos a night is what I shoot for. I think if you go anywhere below, you can kind of get into some kind of bad places, but right around 2,000, which is 34 US, 34 US a night. That's kind of been my target. You can find decent places for 1,500 or so, but anywhere from 1,500 to 2,500 is what I typically shoot for in my when I'm traveling around, and I don't make reservations. It kind of burnt me one time with whatchamacall, that festival in Bacolod, Mascara Festival. I booked out, and you kind of have to around that because it's one of those big events that books out probably pretty early on. But I had made a reservation for Agoda, and I was there for a freaking week. And with the storm blew in, I couldn't go at all. So I wasted 11,000 pesos on that trip. Done. So now what I do is I show up at a town. I still use Agoda to research where, but then I'll just show up at the hotel and get a room. And that's always been great for me. Yeah. Is this still live? I don't know. Live from Leyte. Yes, we're still live. So I'll probably wrap it up in a little bit. Yeah, go keep the enjoyable content. Thank you, brother. I appreciate that, man. I do. I want you guys to feel good. I want you guys to be happy. I want you watching my content. I don't want it to be a downer. I want it to be a positive experience. I don't want it to be a confronting experience. I want you guys to laugh and chuckle. Let's go ride, man. Let's chill. Chris, your YouTube advice about new YouTube channels is spot on. I'm amazed. I've had YouTube channels since 2007 and was paid for 13 years. You learn fast. Yeah, thank you, brother. I'm trying, man. It's a lot of my life, learning as I go. As an IT professional for 20 plus years, that is who you have to be in that career, right? You figure stuff out on a whim. I like it. Like I said, I question whether or not, though, knowing what I know now, what I started up, I don't know, man. Look, this is what I love too. This is one of the things I really get is just chatting with you guys and the friends that I've made. I mean, come on, man. I've met some great guys. I talk, some about the bad experiences, but I've met a ton of great people. I mean, just the families, and a lot of these guys were on there earlier. I dig that, man. One of the things that I'm discovering about the foreigners that I really like to be with is guys who are like me. They're family guys, guys who've raised children, that kind of deal. I really dig that kind of person, or still family, right? One of the things about my age and where I'm at now, and I didn't realize this as well, is I'm actually pretty conservative. I wasn't, man. I was a freaking crazy, wild little hellion. But now as I've gotten older, I'm pretty dang conservative. And so I like guys who are like that. I'm not into guys who are like into prostitution and drinking and that kind of deal. That's not who I am. And whatever, people do their own deal. But I'm really discovering just how conservative I am as I'm getting older. It's probably pretty normal. I think most people are like that. But yeah, I've enjoyed a lot of it. But there's also been some downsides as well. Yeah, thanks though, appreciate it. You don't need an epidemic or AI. Just rock your ukulele. Dude, I have not played the ukulele. I need to freaking get on that damn thing, man. Yeah, so that was one of the things that started when I was in my wheelchair, as I was playing the uke. Yeah, good for you, brother. Appreciate that. Yeah, one more question. Since you move around a lot, is it easy to find a Honda place to get proper service at for the NX500? It's a great question, Joy. I don't know that quite yet. I would think yes, but that is something I'm currently looking at. I did have a great spot in Cebu City. I'm currently looking at a place here in Ormoc or Pollen Pond that I can do that stuff if when I need to. But yeah, there he is. What's up, man? Dude, you're counting the days too, right? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Just back from work, was listening to your live on the background while watching fixing fractured hip. I know, right? Oh, this guy right here, dude. You were really, like we've talked about before, just really, helpful in me understanding the severity of my accident, man. So it's really cool. Yeah, I really appreciate you, brother. Thanks for having me in your place. Love it. Looking forward to doing some riding. I shot a quick video for you. I'll send out to you privately, just kind of a heads up on a couple things. But yeah, I'm in Leyte, man. We got out Saturday morning, been all day riding. All the bikes are gone, so everything's pretty much out. So it's ready for you to roll. But yeah, brother. Yeah, excited for you coming up. Excited for your retirement. Days away. We'll see you soon, though, man. Yeah, so cool, man. Yeah, in retirement, to sit around and drink is counterproductive. Yeah, spending money, poor health. So true, brother. We're lucky, right? We're lucky to have the mindset that we have. That's not our life, right? That we know better. We know what we're up to. Yes, life is fun. Love your adventure. Yeah. Thank you. Well, guys, I got to hit the restroom. We've been at it for just over 3 hours. Man, I really love it. I just really want to thank everyone for being here, participating in the channel, just being good people too on the planet. I just get a sense of that from the people that I meet and then you guys here. So really appreciate everyone being here. Stay positive, stay happy, feed the good wolf, Ampine. We'll catch you guys on the next one. Ayo.